Hello everyone and welcome to the Albarian where we play TTRPGs and have a hoot. I am Murray, your Lawkeeper for today in our wonderful Iridai campaign on Sundays, every week, usually. Joined here today with the normal crew, everyone's back, yay, we're all here. Woohoo! Welcome, welcome, welcome. How was everyone's week? You all doing well?
Yes,
Surviving.
Great, non-stop.
Magnificent, wonderful. Dune, great, non-stop. Dune, great film. Loved it. Coming up this week, Thursdays, our next stream, it is Mystery of Bloodheim happening at 8 p.m. That is our Pathfinder campaign. It's going to be the last one of that for a little bitty because two of the players are going on holiday and they're going to be gone for a while. So we're going to have some fun with whatever goes on and happens there. Aside from that, next week Sunday is a 5th Sunday, which means we are off next week.
we're gonna have a potluck.
Wow, sure, yeah, let's all still get together and eat some food that we cooked for other people but have to eat it ourselves. No, which is also actually just good timing because I need to sort out IRL life things at that time too, so yeah, we're not doing anything next week Sunday. We're all taking a nice little leisurely break. Taking a day off, because we're humans too, we need to do that.
Be a good weekend of Barbenheimer, if you haven't.
True, worth it. Oppenheimer, great film. Barbie, funny film. Very good moments. Additional little bits. If you are new here, go ahead and if you would like to just drop us a little follow there, drop us a like, subscribe if you can. There's an Amazon Prime free subscription that you get every single month. I'm remembering I need to use mine now. You can swing by your inn way. If you don't want to do that, or you just want to support us in different ways, we have a merch store where you can get t-shirts and other little bitties for wearing and stuff. These things are actually really comfortable and
That's
quite
Sarah. There we go.
That was alright, yeah. That was that one.
I like the color on that one, the charcoal.
It's great. You can get them in several different colors. There's charcoal, there's blue, there's black, there's white, there's grey. I think that's all the colors I could do it in. Through that store, at least. Other than that, there is a
Help us
Discord
get to Redbubble, folks.
Yeah, help us get to Redbubble. Make it worth my time. I think that is... We are at the 400 mark of followers, so we do have to do a giveaway stream. I'm thinking we will probably be doing that at the one shot at the end of this coming month. So the end of August. We'll figure something out, though. And talk about
We're about to
more
do
on
a
that
420 followers stream because we're at 407.
And our goal is
yeah,
for
brother.
420 now, so...
The 420 followers stream.
The 420 follower stream. Help us get to that. That's what's next. Oh dear. Anything anyone else has got that they want to gab about for a bit?
No?
Let's go make more friends.
Okay.
We are currently not in that kind of situation.
And
Let's
maybe we
continue.
are.
It is open, my friends. Battles have yet to begin. Laughter will be had in gales and floods. If not, at least there will be blood. The sorrow and loss may abound. We'll do our best to hold this hallowed ground.
Hello everyone and welcome back. Little recap for everyone who missed last week or needs a little recap. Last week the party finished questioning up some details from the Guildmaster Raki. Caleb had a nice longer conversation with him regarding some things that are still going on in Zellum, despite him not being there. He was given a side quest to go find the perpetrator of some murders that's been going on in Estrago. Going out and doing some errands first, potentially hooking up a shipping detail and shipping route between Pallius and Estrago, and other little bits, meeting Grandma, getting some potentially sketchy potions, but who knows, they were cheap. Let's drink them anyway. They eventually retired for the night after having some jovial times with Blake Flowerchild, another messenger of peace, with Caleb sneaking out, going with Big Tin, Schnarzboop following close behind, sneaking the whole time, and doing some good around the town, beating up some thugs in a borderline more than should have been beat up way.
Healing some thugs.
Healing some thugs. Schnarzboop's been on the side.
Then they don't learn their lesson.
They don't at all. When the Caleb and Big Tin and Schnarzboop in tow encountered an alleyway with a singular individual who was frozen in step. And then they watched as, well, Big Tin ran off to grab some guards, and Caleb watched as something was pushed through the base of the throat to the back of the spine, freezing him in that position forever. Caleb then shot him with a grappling hook, dragged him closer to him, and encountered a being that they had met very briefly earlier on. We ended with Schnarzboop having a vision after trying to cast sleep on that being, with the spell for some reason hopping back to him, encountering flashes, screams, calls of pain, and the vision of someone he used to know.
I did have a question about that. If that's
Yeah.
all right for, because obviously neither Snozboop nor Peter has any idea what's happening. Does it matter that sleep is an area of effect spell, not a target spell?
Not in this case.
Okay, shit. Okay.
It's a good question, though. Yeah, it's a good question. Right, where are we going on this one? We're gonna go to Big Tin's off grabbing guards. Caleb is right in front of this guy, and they're just having a little polite, quote-unquote, conversation. Schnarzboop's asleep. Let's go back to Caleb. It's all on you.
Okay.
I feel like we're at a point where we should probably roll initiative.
Oh no. Okay. Which dice should I use?
Oh no, use a bad one.
Ever. $17.
Sweet, you're going first.
Okay. So he's 10 feet away from me, you said, right?
Yeah, just out of reach. A little away from the body he just created.
Okay. Well, I'm definitely pressing the button on my grappling gun that releases it. Allows it to wind up. You can have that require whatever you want, I guess.
Bonus action for that one.
Bonus.
Yeah. It'd be an action if you didn't have a device that rounds it up for you.
Yep.
But you do.
Okay. Do you remember when I was collecting evidence? I think it was like the second, maybe third episode. And I used, okay, so this is our flavor of magical tinkering. Okay, so it says imbue a tiny non-magical object with the property of your choice. 5 5-foot radius right of the 6-second long recorded message emits odor or non-verbal sound, static visual image. Remember how I was taking pictures of the evidence?
Yeah.
Remember? Okay. I am going to take a picture of this guy.
All right.
And
Smiled.
He smiles.
okay. And then I'm going to start using my movement to keep at least 10 feet away from this guy. So I'm going to move back a bit in the direction of where Stitch, or not Stitch, sorry. That, did I say Stitch? Big Tim.
It's a player's name. Went to? Okay, you've got 30 feet of movement, right? So 30 feet would get you right up to the railing that's guarding people from falling off the edge of the slice. You can get yourself right up to that.
All right. I'm backing up in that direction, keeping an eye on him the whole time. And that is my turn.
Okay.
If that takes an action. I'm not sure if...
In this case, for this, we're going to say it does take an action.
Yeah.
I think it usually
that's
does
justified.
to use one of those things. It usually is an action.
Well, it says...
I can check here too.
It doesn't really say action or...
It doesn't say. I would say in this case it does.
Yeah. I feel like
It
that's
means action, so it makes change. Not supposed to be that strong of a thing. In that case, you backing up, he's just gonna look and go, oh, I suppose you can be my witness, yes. I'll let you do that. And he turns around, walks over to the body, grabs hold of the shoulder and goes, I hope I'll be seeing you again. I look forward to the hunt. And they just fall through the ground.
Okay. I know I could not take that fight.
A couple of moments later, BT, you show up. Let me make sure I get the right. You show up with the other two guards that you brought in, running a little out of breath. A bit of a fast-paced run for these two. Like, oh, all right, where's the? Oh, there's nothing here. What's going on?
There's a body.
There's no body. The body went with him.
Oh.
I have a picture.
A what?
Hard to explain. Oh.
For some reason my thing turned off. Hard to explain.
I
I
All
just
right.
show it to him. And I made sure to get an angle where the body is in the background.
Well, that's Eli in the background there. He just
He was
arrived
the
a few...
next victim.
He just got here a few solars ago. Ah, poor lad. Trying to find himself a better future. What is this? This is... The inspector's going to want to be talking to you too. I shouldn't be... This is very... Come with us. He looks...
Sure. Hold on a second.
I'm gonna walk over. And is there blood on the ground?
Yes.
I take pictures of that. I'm going to do a quick investigation for anything around, any sort of evidence. Like if I made him drop something by accident when I hit him, or anything like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, while you're doing this, the other guard, like, Wait, hang on. Why are you looking? What are you? Is this guild business?
Yes.
Oh. Well, I would put you in a better place to be looking as to why, but the inspector's not going to like any interference. So if you need to do any, please don't touch anything. That's all I'm getting at. We need to warden off the situation, actually. If you're all fine just waiting around, I'll take you to the station after this.
My investigation was a 25.
25? There's... You can see, this is the, this alleyway, there's a doorway that leads into what sounds like a bit more of a quieter, but still robust enough inn type or restaurant location. There was a bag dragged, thrown into a bin, storage thing for rubbish, whatever's waste needs to be removed from the premises. Recently brought over, you can tell that with the investigation. You also find a familiar white-haired and bearded gnome holding on to his loot on the ground, unconscious. Schnorsboop.
Okay. Anything else?
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing to indicate anything. The best you can surmise would be that the guy just took some trash out at the end of his shift and was just about to go home.
Okay, 1 second. I'm writing a note very quickly. What I am going to do is gently, but not too gently, kick Snozboop awake.
It's enough to wake you up. That would be the end of your vision that you have, and you find yourself on the cold, wet ground, having just been a little violently nudged in the gut by a boot.
Caleb, I do wish you would have trusted me. That being said, whatever that was did not work. I tried to put whatever that was to sleep, and I went to sleep instead.
Yeah, I know I couldn't take the fight either.
And so whatever it was got away?
Yes.
I assume you're on the trail, though.
Not exactly. They're gone. So's the body.
Interesting. Snozboop's going to get up kind of creakily and walk slowly to over where the body was. And he's
Don't
going...
step on anything.
Yeah, he's been very careful not to step on anything. And he's going to try to sense magic, specifically anything that was... You could see what was cast, or if there was like a magical pathway, something along those lines.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. Oh, you can sense magic, right? Or was this detect magic?
Is that a question for me?
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know the answer.
Okay, so you're not doing this via a spell of any kind?
No, I don't have any spells to do that.
All right. Give me an Arcana check then.
Okay. Yeah, it's a 10.
A 10? Okay. best. Okay, so you wouldn't be able to sense any magic in the area or residue of what's happened with it. You might need something specific to do something like that, like a device.
Okay.
However, your looks and what you saw on this individual is you did catch glimpses of obscurities when he was visible for a moment. Well, first off, he was invisible, so there's definitely some form of magic being used in some way, or form of becoming invisible at the very least. But there was also a very ornate short sword. Ornate in the sense of elegant, a little scary. Like had a sharp handle.
Maybe unrelated, but I rolled a series of rolls last session. One of those was Arcana, which I believe I rolled a 21. Is that coming to me at some point?
What was the premise for?
I was following Caleb's lead and looking for baddies or whatnot. You had me
right.
roll Arcana. I don't know what it was for exactly. In that sense.
Okay. Yeah, we never fully used. I used all of Caleb's for his nightly adventures, none of yours. So the Arcana, I will say this. Seeing as you caught part of it at the very beginning, at least at the encounter of discovering the body, his invisibility was not through the spell-like magic. There was no spell. Like when you hold your instrument, there's a feeling to magic and a feeling to casting spells. It lacked that.
Okay.
When you saw and discovered what was going on and that there was actually a person there, like a really good camouflage.
Got it. Okay, cool. Turn to Caleb and say, it seems as though his invisibility, at least, was not magical in nature, more of a camouflage. And I remember he had a ornate, strange-looking short sword. If that would be helpful to you. Do you think it'd be best to go to sleep at this point, or stay hot on the trail?
I have to go speak with the inspector. But I have a picture of him.
Oh, very good. Full of tricks and surprises, aren't you, Caleb?
And we wait until it's time to
One
go.
of the guards, the guard who was previously speaking, comes up to you and, right, if you will come with me, I'll be taking you to the office area so you can talk with the inspector. Word's already been sent to him. Do you need any word sent to? Is there anyone else? Oh, hello. Who's this? Says pointing down at Schnorsboop.
A friend. Apparently. Also on his own little investigation.
All right. Well, I see it's the same guild, so good by me. Careful with the investigator, though. Investigator. Trying to mix up two words there. Oh dear. Careful with the investigator, though. He's a bit crotchety, and sure you understand why.
Is it because he lacks friends?
Probably.
Or
He
because
does
of the
lack
murder?
friends.
No.
Well, that primarily, definitely the murderers. There's been 7 reported now. And there's no trace of anything. He says this while you're all walking along. Oh, before we get too far though, anyone else you need to be having with you with this conversation. If your guild and your group,
Should we wake the others? Or let them sleep?
Hmm. Perhaps let them sleep. Although they may have specific skills that could be useful depending on what we're trying to do. I don't know what the inspector expects from us.
he
Are
might
we
want
about to
have
go
a-
back to sleep, or are we about to continue hunting? I guess is the question.
We won't find them. Not tonight.
Well, if that's the
It
case.
seems
then
like back to sleep then.
the investigate. He's probably going to want to be having a look at the scene anyway before having any true conversations with you. At least that's usually how it's gone down. But of course, victims are usually a little catatonic after seeing. Well, you're not a victim; you're just a witness. So at least that's what they calls them, as witnesses. Anyway,
I want to speak to him now.
he's going to be up in the office. He can come follow me. Your friends, you'll need to return anyway in the morning with the rest of everyone else. He'll want to talk to everyone.
He needs to know it's not the taxidermist. And he needs to know that before he jumps to conclusion.
Ah, well. You can do your best on that one. All right then. The other two, you can go about your business if you like. If you would rather return tomorrow instead.
Well, I think I'll join my friend Caleb here if that's all right. I'm sure it won't take long.
Probably not. He doesn't like talking to other people. Gets around eventually to another portion of another piece. And the front end of it, it's right at the corner of the piece of this canyon city here. Large double doors. You can easily fit in, Big Tin. Not for too long, though.
Okay.
When you walk in, there's a foyer in the front. And just on the other side, bars going down and a person on the other side of a counter sitting there, looking through some paperwork. Looks to be in a uniform of some kind. Looks up and... Oh, and how can I... Oh. So it's alright. It's not going to bite you. At least it hasn't me yet. It actually came and reported murder. Is the investigator... Has he arrived yet? Yes, Inspector Richardson is in the back. I'll fetch him. The whole time not removing his eyes from Big Tin.
Big Tin stares at him the whole time.
Well, that is, I think, where I'm going to leave you. I need to go talk to the Arcane Discovery Lab and see if anyone's there. And he wanders off. It's a couple of moments before this ragged tan leather trench coat wearing individual comes walking over with a bowler hat on top. He's got a cigar out of his mouth, a big bushy beard. Looks at you all, a little scar running down the side, left-hand temple of his face. He looks scruffy, rough, reeks a little bit of cigar and tobacco smoke. And just goes, ah. It's only a matter of time before a guild gets involved. Are you the ones who witnessed it?
More than that.
Oh, great, wonderful. What do you know?
These.
Pull out the camera, if you will.
He
Gonna say.
snatches the device from you.
Call them pictures.
Alright, who's this?
The killer.
Oh, a killer. Well, I've never seen something like this around. I know most people in this area.
Well, you
How
don't
might I
know
believe
him.
you? Tosses it back to you.
I also was witness to that individual being the murderer. As far as it not being someone as you know, that is unfortunate, but I also think it's somewhat important that it is no one that you do know.
Fine. Hey. Pulls off another officer from the side. Like, you, like, give him that device, that thing, whatever it is. Guy takes him, like, get a search party out for someone who looks like that. They see him around, acquire him, and bring him in immediately. What position was it in this time?
Its hand out, beckoning. He was still alive. For a time,
Still alive? How do you know that?
because dead bodies don't bleed that much.
And how much was it bleeding?
Well, they call him Mac. There are pictures of that too.
Or you could just tell me and let him do his job.
I tell him. I don't know how many in how much in volume it actually was. He did not tell me.
It was volume. Yeah, it was enough to bleed out, basically. Enough for them to suffocate on their own blood, which is very unfortunate. Yeah. It's a coroner thought. Alright, thank you for your statement. Thank you for the information. You can go about your business. He turns around and starts leaving. What is that?
So I plan to.
Let me get one thing here clear. He stops and comes back forward to you. This is my investigation, and the guild should not be butting its head into it. So stay out of my business. If I see you contaminating crime scenes, I'll have you arrested. I don't care if you're part of a guild.
If I may interject, good sir.
You can try.
I'm Snozboop of Clan McSnoogan, a messenger of peace. And I believe what my friend is trying to say is that there are 7 individuals who have died horribly. And I just thought that perhaps you may want some assistance from one with high level of competence in the area.
Well, like I don't have competence? Is that what you're telling me, Schnozboop of Clan McShnoogan?
What I'm saying is, it can't hurt to have a bit more.
Who are you two? 3. I mean, you've got a steel predator with you, so I'm Richie Rich me's looking for a thrill. Unfortunate adventurers. Don't know what they got into.
We are of the 3 Watchers Guild out of the Peleus Crater.
Thought Polly's was destroyed.
It was, but it is being rebuilt.
And why should I let you help? For all I know, you could just be an E-tier group walking into this. But you are, technically.
Yes, we are.
I mean, as far as you know, that is possible. But I can assure you, as a messenger of peace, I have known no one more capable of assisting you in this sort of scenario than my friend Caleb here. And I think that can be of only assistance to the people of whatever this town's called.
It's Strago.
It's Strago. And I would plead with you, officer, not to let pride or any kind of professionalism of that nature get in the way of helping the people.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Ugh. It's an 11.
Oh boy. You're nothing but a bunch of civilians playing with power you're given for no reason that you shouldn't have. If you interfere with any of my investigations, I will have you arrested. Unless you can show me an actual guild contract officiating your presence in this investigation, you are not to come near or touch any of it. Do I make myself clear?
I do believe Caleb might have something to say to that.
When I bring him back, I will be accepting your apology.
And I'll be watching pigs fly. He turns around and starts walking off. The sergeant behind the counter, like, I've actually seen that happen before. Pigs they can fly. Some of them can, at least.
Snotboop is going to whisper over to Caleb and say, Didn't the guild master ask us to do this? Isn't this guild business?
Unofficially.
I think I missed that little tidbit. That is unfortunate. Very well.
I omitted that little tidbit. Apologies.
Seems like the shadows for us,
First, we rest.
Well said, well said.
And thank you for talking. If it had been just me, I would have been escaping out of a window by the end of that conversation.
You know, I thought that might be the case, which is why I did go to sleep. But of course, my friend, of course.
The three of us head on home.
Back to the inn.
Back to the inn for a nice long rest. The rest of the night goes by peacefully. The morning time, you will all, in subsequent timing, however it goes by, get awoken by Blake, who comes to your rooms knocking on the doors going, morning, I've brought you breakfast. If everyone would like some breakfast. If not, then I suppose I'm going to be eating a lot of food this morning.
Oh, thank you so much, Blake.
The door's closed and locked.
I'm going to cast Mage Hand and unlock it.
Oh, that's a real fancy trick. I like that one. How are we all doing? You
Mage Hand's going to give him a thumbs up.
An invisible hand gives him a thumbs up.
What is it? Invisible game?
I think Mage Hand's invisible, yeah.
Oh,
I think so.
Lame.
Oh, it might be visible.
A
it might be
spectral
the
floating hand.
Yeah. I'm thinking of the wrong one. There's a subclass that makes it invisible because they use it a lot, and it's a rogue subclass, believe it or not. And he comes walking in. How was everyone's night? You sleep well?
Restful.
Oh, good.
Slept. Oh.
Slept very well.
And he just watches Caleb get up from the floor. No pillow, no blanket, no nothing.
Taffy's going to kind of like rub her eyes, do a big stretch and a yawn, and say, "Oh, I had a lovely dream about some giant leaves and some bees. It was very nice. How about you?"
I dreamed about world peace.
That seems pretty on brand for you lot.
I would say maybe it's about 30% on brand, he says as he's walking over and putting the big old tray of food. You've no idea how he's still holding this thing up. It's kind of shaking and clacking a little bit with the cutlery on it as he's shaking while putting it down. Ooh, But, maybe about 30% of us like to dream about it and think about it regularly. We do our best, though. Long ways from now, though. Long, long ways. It's gonna be a while. I don't know if your steel predator friend, Big Tin, if he eats or what he does. So I brought him about a quart of oil and some polishing ointments as well, if that's something that could be used. And there is also a second plate. I figured if anyone else is not, if he can't eat it, then any one of us could.
Well, he exists, if that's what you're asking.
Not quite, but that's good to know.
I don't know if eating is
Comic-Con!
Oiling.
Thank you for the pennies. Where's my notification thing?
Oh, dang. Calcon, thank you.
Where's
Very
my
shiny.
alerts?
I do appreciate you.
yeah.
You are, of course, a ray of sunshine in everyone's presence.
I love being a ray of sunshine. That's great.
Well, I think we will be heading out. I don't know when I will see you next, but I do hope it's soon.
You have a wonderful and splendid day. I will be around here the whole time. Whole day, or whole solar, if you would all ever need me.
Thank you so much, Blake.
You're welcome. You all can go about your time. Go about your day. Do what you want to do. What do you want to do?
Snaz will point to Killip and mind message him, saying, what's the plan, detective?
Well, the first plan is we need to find an airship, hire them, send back those raw goods, and then we wait for the inspector, see what he has to say. But on the way, we have to meet the taxidermist.
I got the sense, still messaging, that the inspector won't be telling us anything additional.
We'll see. Either way, I don't think we'll be able to find him during the day.
So for Teffy and
What we
Zora,
have to do,
for some reason, Caleb and Schnorzbip are just messaging each other back and forth. Not saying anything as to why. They're just kind of silently doing that for some reason.
So did all we see was like a...
Kind of, yeah, like
What
some
did we see?
concentration of the lips moving, but not hearing any voice. And you're familiar enough with Schnorzbip's messaging. You see the pointing.
Have we seen this before?
Oh yeah, you've seen it before. Yeah, you've seen Schnorzbip's messaging many times now.
I'm a little too tired. I haven't had my coffee. I don't
Teffy's
wanna
gonna
process
look
this
back and
conversation.
forth. Teffy's back and forth, and then she's gonna say, "All right, you lads are clearly hiding something. Why don't you share with the class? I'm sure whatever it is, we can lend a hand."
Where is ET? I'm just my head through the window. That's right, from the other
Head
floor.
through the window. Whatever you'd like if you'd all like to be on the road, traveling to wherever you're first going to be going.
Yeah, sounds right.
We can say
We'll
that.
be outside walking about.
Outside walking about.
And Snozwood will turn to Kellub and say, I believe Kellub should be the one to explain our little adventure.
The Guildmaster tasked me with an unofficial job. There have been murders going on in the city, and the inspector has been blaming his friend, the taxidermist. Last night, Snozboop, Big Tin, and I, well, coincidentally ran into the killer. So, I
Did
know
you
what
kill
it
him?
looks like. No, that was not a fight that I was willing to participate in without Big Ten or Snozboop, considering Snozboop was asleep.
Oh.
Then I was playing Get Help.
Snozboop was
Yes.
asleep. in the scene of an active murder?
Yeah, he still hasn't quite explained that to me either.
Snozzbird,
Yeah.
do you care to explain that one?
Well, I'd like to, but I don't really understand it. I attempted to cast my spell Sleep on the individual, and instead somehow cast it on myself. I don't know why that happened. It has never happened before.
Well, that certainly is something, isn't it, then?
It is, quite. Any thoughts on that? I really have no idea how that could have happened.
Some sort of magic resistance, maybe?
The old
Probably.
I'm rubber, you're glue sort of situation?
But could also be Arctech.
True. The individuals seem to be using some non-magical means to go something close to invisible, at least. So perhaps, yes, Arctech would be another reason. Maybe is immune to spells, as Zara said. Only antipocity at this point. Caleb,
So-
yeah, please continue.
We also went to talk to the inspector, and he is not too keen on us investigating the situation. He seems like the type of man that's willing to make it look like the taxidermist did this, so that way it looks like he solved the case. That's what I'm concerned about.
Have any of us been to talk to the taxidermist yet?
Not yet. That's what's on the docket today. And
Let's have a
then
look.
we find an airship with those raw goats.
10-4.
And we go
14.
and talk to the taxidermist.
14.
Thank you. Yeah, 10-4.
Oh, haha.
He's a big calculator kitty, isn't that right? I try to reach. Do I reach his glabella area to give him a little pat?
Big Tin's 5 foot tall, on all fours.
Okay, then yes,
Yeah.
I give him a little pat.
Taxidermist? Is that where you're all heading?
Yes.
Yes?
Sure.
Okay.
Yes.
Heading on through, you eventually find yourself in front of this. It's a little bit more of a quiet location now. Shadowed inside the wall, deep in a recess, all the way in the back. There is a small little shop in a hidden alleyway almost. There is, of course, a sign out the front that doesn't swing because there's no wind in here at this point. You're too far into the cliff face. But it does say Sonny's Taxidermy. And it's got a nice little bright sun coming over the crest of a couple of mountains. And just on the inside of this door is a series of rows with a bunch of stuffed and posed animals, many of which are dressed in a funny form or way to make it look like they're on display or in a ballroom or out on a stroll in the street. All designed in weird ways. Just on the other side of a counter, you see this, I haven't quite decided yet. Let's go with an Earth Ganassi. An Earth Ganassi just quietly with these small little spectacles, stitching something up from another skin. You're all still on the outside. Big Tin, you could fit through the doors. Might be a little tricky walking through the shelving units of his shop, though. But you technically could fit in. You just wouldn't be able to turn around.
I will let everybody enter the shop, and then I'll stand in the door.
Okay, yeah. Door gets opened up and there's a ting 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 ting. And he immediately looks up. hello. Yeah, I'm Sunny. Excuse me, sorry. Just finishing up a piece of work here. How am I Oh. Guild members. Not any I recognize. How might I help you?
Sent by a mutual friend.
Mutual friend. Well, you're gonna have to help me out with that a lot, my friend, I'll say. I know many inside the guilds.
Guildmaster Ratke
Ah,
says you've been in
friend indeed.
trouble lately.
Well, you might say, what exactly in reference to, if you don't mind my asking?
You know about the murders, yes?
Right. I figured as much. Yes. There has been some issues recently in regards to the murders. They've been happening in and around the premises within a couple of ticks. It's always on my side as well. And I'm the only taxidermist who operates in these sites and areas. And the way the bodies have been discovered, well, it's been troubling. It's not me, though. I guarantee you that. It's not my style, not my way.
And
I'm
we're
gonna
just
look around
supposed to
for a
believe
second.
that?
I'm gonna look around for the second.
We
at
know it's not him.
all of the like human dressed animals and stuff like that and goofy stuff, and then I'm gonna look back at him.
I'm gonna say, clearly it's not your style. Besides, we've seen him.
Oh. He takes the needle he was using and clips off the thread on the end and puts it inside this little tiny vat of liquid. Steps up and around, and it doesn't matter if you've seen him. We live in an era of magic and archtech where one can purchase a hat that puts it on and make you look like someone else. It wouldn't matter for the investigator as long as you can fully prove it's not me. That's the issue. Seeing something is not proving that it's not the person.
What were you doing last night?
Depending on the time of day, I was either upstairs reading in my chair or asleep. I live alone, you see. It doesn't really give for a good alibi, does it?
Not at all. So this
Who
is
was the
what I
last person you
suggest do.
contacted that evening?
The last person I contacted that evening was... Well, I did have Miss Gerald's in a little later in the day, just before the true light fell, and the lanterns started turning on. Her dog passed away about last week, and she's seen to my taking care of it.
Have you completed the dog?
Yes, it was for her to pick it up, actually.
That's an alibi.
Well, then I'm glad I have one for this one. I apparently haven't for all the others.
You received a dog late. You completed it. When would you have done that? That's an alibi.
It took a whole line to complete. And many other projects. I do appreciate the belief. Most people don't believe what I say. I do a lot of skinning and things, though. From what I've heard, the person doesn't use his body and whole as specifics to that. I don't have the equipment for that. At least, the starting preferences. You know, the bodies are never actually located, right? Like, they are found and discovered. But they're never actually acquired.
Because he takes them away.
Calls the people his witnesses. I'm not a man who would do something like that. I abhor violence. I don't want to create the bodies. I want to preserve them. And not humanoids. Never humanoids. Only our friends who have no voice. Insight roll.
Say I
Roll
believe
insight.
you.
19.
19. Cool.
He's
What do
rolling
you?
the dice, guys.
What do you want to
He's
say,
rolling
Taffy?
the dice.
Oh,
I saw his
just
hand
say
reach
I
over.
believe you. From a pragmatic, from a practical perspective, what can you tell us about what he's been doing from the reports that have been circulating? I hear there's something to do with posing and the whole bodies, and he must need them for some reason. So let's start there.
It's from what I'm hearing. Mine requires the animal to be passed away, and he walks over to his desk again, picks something up. And you, Teffy, you know the most about Ganassi and how they work. You're getting the idea now that you've seen him for a bit. He's a little older, on the older side of things. Probably maybe 10 years older than your father. So he's got some time behind him. He picks up the thing he was working on. You see the skin here? I have to sew it very delicately to the frame on the inside. Because, as you see, pulls the fur back. It's nothing but a thin, cushiony material on the inside. I don't use the actual body parts. They get removed. We burn those and give the owner the ash. Or sometimes even actually mix it with the substance we use to create the foamed inserting of this display. And what you can also see what I do is all display. They're all posed in fantastical ways that you would never dream of seeing your pets when they're alive posed. What the person's doing is posing much like myself. That is in the same style, yes, but there's no waste. They're preserving the whole body. Otherwise, we would have found their bodies by now, or he would have been leaving the bodies behind just without any skin. He's taking the whole body, so it's
But
not a
what
style
of
I
these
know.
poses?
That could be a medley of things. For example, this one was requested. He holds up the one he's working on again, and it looks like a mouse that's scribing in a book. Like, this one was requested by the owner to be in this pose. Usually it's per the contractor and the person who requests. Other times it's by my imagination. Those two were some very unfortunate bats who died of a disease, he says, pointing at this display of two bats who were ballroom dancing together. That was my own creation. It's for sale if you'd like it, only 3 gold.
Sorry, sir, not your poses. The poses of these series of events.
Oh,
These murders. What about their poses?
the discovered bodies.
Have you seen any?
No, I have not seen any. I have only heard that they've been in poses. I don't know what poses they were in, though. Unfortunately, I am so sorry. The investigator in charge, he doesn't like me, so don't tell him. I told you about him, but it's Inspector Richardson. You might have better luck getting the information from him.
From what I hear, he doesn't particularly like us either.
Doesn't surprise me. He doesn't like most people.
She'll turn to Caleb, kind of raise an eyebrow and say, "What do you know of these poses?" You seem to be the one most in on it.
You're muted.
Eh.
In some way.
Wah, 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 wah.
You turn to look at me and raise that eyebrow, and you see that I have begun pacing about the building. And with an investigation of 23, what do I see?
23, what do you see? There is... Okay, with a 23, as you're pacing around looking
A
at
lot.
these bits, as other people are speaking to Sunny here, there is one display that catches you a little bit more. It's a giant cube. And when you go over and you realize that this cube is a solid substance, but you can see through most of it. Kind of like a glass, but when you walk over and you tap it, it doesn't feel like a glass. And on the inside is preserved this weasel who's standing upright with a tiny little sword in its hand and a shield strapped to its other arm and some little scale mail armor put on top of it. It's a very heroic pose. There's also a little price listing, 300 gold.
I keep looking.
The investigation on that one as well shows that there's no stitch work to that piece, whereas all the other there's a stitch work.
Okay. I'm gonna pick it up, and I'm gonna bring it over to Sunny and set it down.
And he came in one yes, this is how I know he doesn't do my style. I've tried preserving bodies in this way once before, and I don't like it very much. But if you are to take a body and use the substance here, then you can preserve it with all the insides without too much effort. It's normally like a normal embalming effort at that point, where there's no stitch work required, just a little mixture of alchemical procedures. Very expensive, though, if you don't have the processing capabilities yourself, that is.
Do you know anyone who might?
There are a few people that I know of. Gene warriors mostly. They usually when they retire, they go into alchemical positions. Who is the owner of Helga? I know Helga knows how to do this. She owns a salve shop over in one of the lower levels.
What's that name again?
Helga? There's also Professor Kildren. He's very good at preserving things. More of a magical tinkerer, though. He doesn't operate a shop. He is just a person who does consulting work with the schools. He's been around time from time, just to examine the work.
Where is he?
University level, over in the 7 o'clock, 9th floor. The entire floor is the university. They've even started branching out in the higher levels now too. Education's going very far in Estrogo now. Go wave crashers. That's our local team.
Is there another one, or is that it?
Well, the third, I suppose, would be me. I do know how to do the process, I just don't like to. It's not my style. I prefer the working with the needles. This, he says, picking up the cube, it feels cheap. too simple. It takes away the joy of the craft.
At this, Taffy is going to just have a very alarmed look on her face, but say nothing.
You guys have any more questions?
I have one question. What's your name?
I am Sunny.
Sonny, I'm Snozboop. It's good to meet you. I do hope you know that Caleb and the rest of my friends here are going to do our best to assist you out of this very unfortunate situation.
I thank you greatly for that. Raki would do it himself if not for the fact that the Inspector's agency has barred him from entering ever again recently. With actual legal rights, too. They got the paperwork to show it. Don't know how they achieved that, but they did.
I'm sorry, did you just say that the police have banned someone from entering their station?
Yes, Raki only guildmaster. And it was legitimized by the mayor and the guilds, from what I heard.
What did they do?
I'm not sure what they did. You'll have to ask them. I spend most of my days in here. Most of my encounters are with people who come to say hello.
All right. Well,
Hello.
Oh,
Hello.
Sonny,
I
I have
guess.
some advice.
Goodbye.
Oh boy. Who should I pay attention to?
Not me.
Okay. Well, advice.
Get yourself an alibi for the coming nights. If you don't, you will be arrested for this. Maybe before we can do anything to stop it. Maybe go stay with Reiki. He has enough
Hey.
men.
An interesting idea. If you could perhaps turn yourself in. Your alibi would be that you're in jail.
That is a very stupid idea. But the Reiki idea, I think, would work.
I'll see about finishing my contract here. They'll be around in about an hour or so to pick it up. Afterwards, though, I think I will take your advice. If you witnessed another one, then that would make 7. Which is building in numbers, so they may be around to find me anyway.
Yeah, well, don't travel at night.
I never do.
Finish. And then get to Reiki's quickly.
Of course. Thank you very much for everything you're doing. I do appreciate. If you ever have need of stuffing in the future, all you need to do is come to Sunny's. I will stuff your dog, your cat, your mouse, your snake, whatever it is you want. I had to say it because you have a snake with you right now. Sorry.
How could you?
Easily.
On this, the day my daughter is to be wed. How could you do this to me?
Oh my. Perry and the snake is their daughter.
Are you talking to me?
Okay. Where you'll go next?
Well, we have 2 leads. We're gonna have to get this done anyway because we need the money from this job to help with the initial payments of everything else. So I think that takes
Yeah,
priority.
we're pretty cash poor.
This is a pretty
I'm going
well-paying
to
job, so-
suggest that we follow our two leads with the alchemist. I'm going to go to Helga first and then the professor.
All right. Hearing no objections, head on your way over to Helga's, which is not called Helga's. It's called the Drip and the Drop. It's an alchemist store that actually takes up a couple of levels. You can hear bubbling and bustling coming from the inside as cauldrons are bubbling and people, when you see and look through the windows, are busy at work. Walking through the door, there are several cauldrons on either side of you, and people working at it, taking supplies, putting them inside, stirring occasionally. There's a nice little waiting area right in the middle where a couple of people are sitting down with other storage containers of their own kind, looking anxious, waiting for whatever they have, whatever they just commissioned recently. And over in one corner, currently picking something from a shelf, is this very large orc with these tusks that kind of poke out. She stops and turns and like, "Hey, Henry, what was it you need? You needed a bullseye root?" Nah, the basilisk fan. Ah, basilisk fan, right, yes. And how much is that? Like an ounce? Okay, right. There you are. There, that is. It's gonna be about 30 or so minutes. She leans down and says to this small elderly gnome. He's like, "Oh, right, thank you, I could just wait here then." Waddles over to one of the tables and joins the rest of the waiting crowd. "Oh, yes, hello. Welcome in. So this is the Drip and the Drop. Anything you would like, we have on hand. If you don't, we can make it. There's still a couple of empty cauldrons. How might I help you?"
Following a lead.
Following a lead. Terribly informative. What kind of conversation is this? Is this in the middle here or somewhere private?
Depends. Do you know anyone coming in buying these materials?
I'm going to pull out my notebook and I'm going to read them off.
We sell those materials every day. All in combination?
In combination.
Okay, hey, Tony, watch the shop. I'm gonna be a moment. Come with me. Your friend out there is gonna have to stay out there. Not enough room in here or in other bits. By the way, that's a steel predator, right?
Still protector, but yes.
Cool. I can say I've seen one now. You're awesome. Right, well...
You're welcome.
Ooh. Augie would love to get his hands on that. Don't let him. He's one floor over. Well, whoever would like, I gotta check the receipts and our bills of sale to make sure and find out, but how far back would this be?
I tell Helga the at least before the date of the first murders.
Which is the beginning of the cycle, nearly. Alright. Join me if you like. I'll just be a moment. She walks through
I join
these
her.
I
doors.
go with them.
Going through, there's a back storage unit where a bunch of different little boxes and crates are everywhere. She takes you to a small little sequestered office, which is filled with far too many scrolls and books for your own good. Taffy, you look around and it is unorganized chaos. Probably a librarian's hell in here. And she goes over to a drawer, opens it up, and there's a bunch of just little loose leaf pieces of paper in there. She starts pulling one out at a time, going, nah. She's gonna be doing that for about 10 minutes. She's slowly going through the straw.
I'm gonna
Hey.
say
Go for it.
Look for patterns at these dates.
I'm gonna say every date of every murder.
Alright, patterns. Is there like a give or take on day or a solar
Not
time frame?
exactly.
Okay.
I don't know how long he works. He runs in cycles.
Who wants to give her advantage?
I do.
Okay. I'm gonna roll with advantage.
Oh, you roll. Okay. Because
Yeah,
I
I'm
also
rolling, I'm
roll.
rolling. Yeah.
You should take my roll, is all I'm saying. Please take my roll. Take
Maybe
my
I
roll.
should. Maybe I should. Right. She goes through and like, oh, there's no receipts in here, no bills of sale for exactly what you're saying. Is there a quantity amount that needs to be on each substance?
Well, you tell me. These chemicals are being used in combination to taxidermy his victims. So it would require enough for the average human body.
Here. Her demeanor changes as soon as you start saying taxidermy victims. She leans over and that smile on her face, that gentle professional smile, dissipates to more of a professional frown. She's trying to keep back the extreme dissatisfaction. She pulls up a piece of paper and hands it to you. I'm like, you can tell the investigator that he can come and do his business himself. I ran the numbers and I did the work on it. We don't have that quantity of stuff for this. Right? You can let him know that too. It wasn't me. She's holding out this piece of
That's
paper to you.
not exactly why I'm here.
Investigator boy didn't send you?
No, the investigator is a headstrong moron who will get it his own way eventually.
I like the way you think. In this case, you take this piece of paper and I won't give it to him.
Either way, we are here on behalf, unofficially, on behalf of the Guild and Sonny. So
Good.
any information you can tell us, anything.
I can tell you Sonny didn't do it. Sonny's a good guy, right? He's gentle, spirited. He left places to avoid conflict. His shop is in the middle of nowhere because he relies on being a boutique and what is it, a word of mouth kind of ordeal. He doesn't want attention. Doing this brings attention. Why would he want to do that? I don't believe for a second what the investigator says. It wasn't him. I know that with my heart. Plus, these quantities, it's not something he would have on hand. He would have to go through me or he'd have to go through the university for something like this.
Which is our next stop. But before we go, maybe you can answer a couple other questions. Not about the chemicals or Sonny. Not exactly. What sort of vendetta does the inspector have against the Guild or Sonny?
I don't think he has a vendetta against Sonny. I think he just wants the job done quick. One of those, not slacking on the job. Look, as much of a dick Investigator Richardson can be a little gracious with him. His wife recently died in the front line. He's going through a lot right now. And all these people dying, many of them have families. There's just a lot more going on, and it's been put on his plate, and he hasn't found them. Imagine looking into this for 2 whole lunars, and not being deemed worthy by the instigator of it to be a witness.
Why'd you say worthy?
Victim number 4 comes in here all the time. I say victim. Witness number 4 comes here all the time and couldn't help but brag about what he saw. It was a he, right? Yeah, it's a he. He said something about being deemed worthy by the guy who did it. He looked at him and said, you will be my witness. You are worthy.
He said the same thing to me.
You saw it. You're a witness.
Yeah.
You're next.
Good.
He never leaves the witnesses alive, or at least someone close to you. One of the witnesses lost 3 people so far. Well, 2 of them were
Well,
dead.
then that makes this interesting.
All
Not
you
also the
guys
same
see,
thing for the 3 people, by the way. It's just another third one dying.
all you guys see is this like faraway look go into Caleb's mask eyes as he like stares into the middle distance, and there's like
Thinking
a
wheel.
slight uptick in the cheek area of the mask.
Well, you've given me a lot to think about.
I do that for a lot of people. It's a pleasure of mine.
If you'll speak to them. Go
Mm.
ahead.
I was just wondering if you have any small vials that I can acquire.
Small vials? No, we got plenty of those in hand. Well, how many are you looking for? What size?
Probably about a dozen. Oh, yay big.
Dozen? Alright, it's gonna be 1 silver and 2 copper. I can do this for you. Actually, you're helping out Sunny. She puts a box of vials in front of you after reaching into one of these crates over on the right-hand side of a desk. You just take it.
Well, thank you so much. These will come in very handy in our travels.
I hope they will. Thanks for looking into my friend.
Well, we are gonna go to the uni.
All right. Heading over to the university. Oh, what kind of music do we want for this one? No, that's not entirely right.
Dog. Vying for my attention underneath the desk.
The university, on a different section area of it, you get to the level of it and you can immediately start to see everyone on this level is wearing the same color shaped robes. It's a uniform of any kind, of some kind here. And there's always a crescent wave emblem on their uniform as you're walking around. Many of them appear to be younger than all of you, even though a few of you are actually fairly young by technicalities. I say technicalities, given the environment you're in right now. You're not young. There it is. Eventually, you find your way to the faculty building, or the section where you can go to get some basic information. Upon walking in, there's a foyer and this individual with very large glasses on. He's a bit larger in size. And some of you may be able to put together that he's half ogre of some kind. He's tapping at some pieces. Then he pulls his hand up and you see the very over large sized hand has a little stamp puts on a little ink pad and taps it in a location, shift of paper. Hi, hello, how are you? Welcome to the University of Astrago, go Waves. How might I help you?
On the walk up and through the scenery,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say to Snozboop,
These feel like more your type of people. Could you butter them up, please?
Well, I like to think all people are my type of people, but I take your meaning. Hello, good sir. My name is Snozboop
Hi.
of Clan McSnoogan. And you are?
I'm Igor.
Igor.
I thought it was Igor.
Nah, that's my last name. Igor. My parents were so creative.
A man of few words. So we are looking for a specific professor, I believe.
Oh.
One that perhaps is passionate about alchemy and
Professor Keltron.
Professor Keltra, I believe, as my friend mentioned. Would an excellent individual such as yourself know where we might find him?
I've been rolling poop
That was a
today,
player
y'all.
whisper, not a character whisper.
So, he... Kiltra... I don't know Professor Kiltra, but I do know Professor Kildren.
What does that professor teach?
Chemistry and the mixtures of chemicals.
Sounds like our guy. Where might we find him?
Oh, he's gonna be inside the studio locations. 4 buildings down to your right when you leave here. Big old pocketed building. Looks like a few of the places have been blown out a few times. It's because they have been.
Well, that is delightful. Thanks so much, Igor. Do you like to laugh?
Only when it comes to an importance. Should I be laughing right now?
Well, I just thought I might be able to do you a favor.
Alright.
In that case. With joy. And I'm going to cast hideous laughter on him.
Oh my gosh. Is this a saving throw? Right?
It is.
Boop-a-doop. Oh, what is your DC?
16.
16? Okay, he got a 14. He starts.
Enjoy, Igor. And at that, we'll walk towards the way he said to go.
You'll leave and turn right. A few buildings down, there is.
I'm going to assume from now, unless you say so, I'm able to fit.
Yeah, that's fairly safe to do.
Okay.
Yeah, unless I
I
give you a
didn't know if we're
specification.
inside yet or not.
That's
In the
fair.
university.
You're in the whole level. The walkways and pathways are definitely big enough for you to fit. Most of the doorways are double doors, and the classrooms are large, so you can fit in most locations. In this one, definitely.
Cool.
Well, coming around to the location he told you to go to, there is one that you can tell why he says it, that looks like it's been blown out. Portions of where the windowsill are, the framework is bowed outwards, just ever so slightly in places. And there's, for those of you with a nice high enough survival check or passive perception, you can smell the chemicals in this area. many of them having a very specific kind of pungency to it. There's only one classroom that has anything going on right now, but it appears and sounds as though there is currently a lecture going on the inside. This would be from the direction Professor Kildren's classroom.
Caleb is going to just walk in that lecture.
Yay!
Chaos.
And I will walk in and sit at the back of the class and wait for the rest of the group.
Snozwood is going to sit at the most easiest located open seat.
Cool.
Teffy's gonna
I will.
look at Big Tin and say, I think we're trying to be inconspicuous at this point, and a massive metal killing machine might draw us a bit undue attention. Would you mind just
Where?
sitting outside?
Where's the massive killing machine?
That's the perception of you, my dear. That's why people are so shocked whenever you walk past.
Okay.
Thank you kindly. And Teffy's going to tiptoe into the back of the classroom as well, and just kind of stand.
I'll walk into the next classroom.
Oh no.
Classroom.
Empty hallways, but through the very thin wall, you can hear the lecture going on the other side of the wall. So you can hear what's going on in the other wall, or the other classroom. Yeah, you can fit inside it. It is empty. No one in there.
Good.
Zora, you, anything
Yeah.
specific?
I was going to cast a Goodberry in preparation for distraction.
Great. Goodberry.
In case we need to hand out a Goodberry in this trying time.
These classrooms, more like auditoriums, they are built to fit roughly around 200 or so people for large lecture-style teachings. And in this one, when you walk in, it is nearly filled. Only the back rows, the two back rows, and it's in a spittin' on the second to last one, is not filled. So you can find yourself plenty space in the back row to sit down and start paying attention. And in the front is this kind of greasy looking, long-ish head, half-elven looking fellow who's got brown eyes, black hair, wearing much more of a professor uniform, these large drapes going on either side of his robes, as he is pointing around and gesturing in places, holding these two vials in his hands. Now, the process of energy is created through... And he starts going through this general lecture, ignoring the fact that a few people have just walked in. And what do you think is going to happen when I put these two chemicals together? A thermal reaction? Yes, actually. A thermal reaction will happen indeed. This is going to get quite hot. Hence the protective gloveware over the top. But why will this happen? Because of what they are made of. Very loose terminology there, Timmy. I suppose you could go into your text and get a little better information later. Why don't I show you what it is and leave that with you for the entire week? When you put these two together, pours it in, and instantly the clear liquids start to foam and turn into this very rapid protruding, shooting out of one of the tubes, foamy substance. Elephant toothpaste, essentially. The heat shoots off to the side, and when it lands, as steam starts coming from it. It's going to be inside section number 4, page 286 of your textbooks. That is where I'm going to leave you on for the night. You are all dismissed, and I'll see you tomorrow for the rest. Classroom, for some odd reason, starts to clap a little bit for him. And people start standing up, gathering up their books. General chit-chat and jimmer-jammer goes around. When you, Caleb, you being the first one who comes in, hears the familiar voice of what would be a whisper coming from this guy as he's pointing at you. You're a bunch of latecomers. I assume you're coming here for questions. Give the students a moment to leave. Afterwards, I'll be happy to answer them all. And he turns around and starts tidying things up on his desk.
Okay, I just remain seated, but I am going to, like during the lecture and stuff like that, I'm going to actively investigate the student body for anything familiar.
All right, yeah. Give me an investigation check.
Snozboop, seeing that Caleb is on to something, gives him a little. Do you believe in friendships?
Yes, please put that instrument away during the classroom. I'm in the middle of a lecture. Yes, you do get a D6, but you did just interrupt his lecture, technically, by...
Oh, I thought he was finished with the lecture.
This is
This
during
is
the lecture. During the lecture. Totally allowed to do that. I'm not going to stop you.
Okay.
But
Well, can I, if possible, I was actually considering doing this last time. Is it possible that I could simultaneously message him with the message, do you believe in friendship? So that it is silent, but he hears it in his head. Inspiring.
Do that with your voice, not with the lute.
Not the lute.
Give me a sleight of hand, though.
Let's see. That is a dirty 20.
A dirty 20. It's quite enough that instead of the professor pointing at you and saying, yes, put your lute away, please, you just get the couple of people in the rows in front of you, turning around with a little bit of a confused look of who's playing an instrument while they're in here. Instead.
Okay, cool.
Much more discreet.
I give him one of these sorries, even though I'm not that sorry.
Okay, I have to do quick maths on this investigation, because... Oh, okay. Well, I rolled a 6 on that inspiration, so thank you very much. And I rolled an 18 on the die for the investigation.
Oh,
so that's
24.
Plus, 24 plus 9 is
33.
33.
A very big
It's
number.
a 33 investigation.
33 investigation. Right.
Give me all.
You don't see anything specific or out of the ordinary during the lecture. But while you're waiting, everyone gets up, starts going about. You're still looking around, and you receive that message in your head, a momentary, brief moment of disruption. And when you come back around to it, there's a tingling sensation in your fingers. You start looking around even more so, examining the people, having a familiarity to that tingling sensation. You felt it twice before now. First time when you first met him, the second time when you encountered him in the alleyway. Looking from face to face, eye to eye, you catch several eyes looking at you with a confused look after they catch you staring at them intently. Several people who don't even acknowledge your existence or the fact that you're standing there just continue walking by. A bunch of students laughing, talking in amongst themselves, getting each other's way, filling and filing out of the halls. And tingling slips away. You didn't see the face you saw. All the students you examined. None of them. But with your ridiculous 33 He 100% was just in this classroom.
Okay. I'm writing that down. And
Oh
I'm
dear.
waiting for the professor to get done.
Hey, Taffy, thank you messages here. From me. That is on Discord. Once everything's filed out, that tingling disappears. It's just the professor. And he turns around, looks at you, and here we go. That's a nice bannable comment. Absolute filth. Time you out, buddy. Don't do that nonsense. That's ridiculous. Right. Sorry, some rather rude comments inside the chat. We don't tolerate that kind of nonsense here. The professor turns around. Weird, what are we calling this? Orpals? In his hand. And how might I help you? It's not every day I get to guild members inside my classroom, but whenever I do, they always have questions.
Well, now that I've been in your classroom, I have much more specific questions to ask you. I'm here on behalf of Sonny, the taxidermist.
Sonny. He was only anything to his disposition of his name.
The killer's one of your students. I need to find out which one.
I highly doubt it. My students aren't capable of anything other than getting anything higher than a B. That's what they're not capable of, that's for sure.
I need you to take me seriously.
Well, I am taking you
face to
seriously. I need you
face.
to take me seriously. My students are incapable and really genuinely unintelligible rats. They don't know anything.
Any ones that stand out?
A few. My star students, though. There's no way they could do anything atrocious in any way. Or whatever you're hunting down here.
Are any of them off? Strange? Quiet?
Well, that entirely depends on your definition of off. By mine, you are.
That's an excellent point. Perhaps it might be. Sorry to interrupt. My name is Snozboop. Perhaps it'd be easiest if you could perhaps give us a list of your finest pupils, and we could be on our way and investigate their strangeness, their offness for ourselves.
The identity of my students is private and confidential information. The only reason or way I would give you something like that is if you had a written notification from the investigator's office or from the guildmaster to do so. To do otherwise would be to violate the rights of my students.
Let's see.
I'm going to take a look around at his office. And
Or classroom right now. He hasn't taken you into his office, but taking a look around. Schnozboop, continue on what you're doing. Wow.
If you allow, I'd like to step out of the auditorium, as you know, stealthily, but not trying to make a fuss. I would like to attempt to write a note from the guildmaster saying that it is our business.
Okay.
Seeing the papers that were likely scattered over his office, using those as reference.
All right. Both of you.
I'm gonna
then,
see how this
Caleb and-
plays out,
Okay.
and hopefully you get that done before I reach the most volatile chemicals in this place.
Great. So Schnosby, if you take a quick gander at the pieces of paper on the desk and then take a step out. Don't see that big tin. Big Tin's not there. He's away. He's off somewhere else. And you start scribbling down this quick note. You also saw the Raki's office and his handwriting and start, I really need you to give me a sleight of hand check. I'm fairly sure your gloves are giving you the bonus on this one.
Okay.
Because this is for forging a
Mhm.
document. A messenger of peace forging something. Good grief.
I'm not sure if my gloves are going into my sleight of hand or they're not. Should I be adding that or no? Can't tell. Like, is that-
Your
like, is that
modifier
auto-
should
is that-
have it.
the modifier should already have it.
Should already have it.
Okay. Okay. So that's gonna be a 12.
A 12.
Yeah.
My. That's a bit of roughy. Hang on, I'm just going over to your sheet here.
You couldn't have given yourself a little bit of the "Do you believe in friendship?"
Can I give myself inspiration?
You can inspire yourself. I don't think there's any
Oh.
rules against that.
Well, then I would like to do that. I assumed I wasn't allowed.
Oh, do it,
Man,
yeah,
I
go
didn't know
for
you
it.
could inspire yourself. That's
Okay,
what's up.
great. I'm
Another
smiling.
inspiration.
I believe in friendship. Instead.
Yeah, I'm
I
just
believe
believing
in
in friendship
friendship.
over in my little corner
I
with my papers.
Yeah, your modifier does have the +5 already added to it.
Okay, great. So I also rolled a 6, so that's going to be an 18 instead.
Ooh, much better. 18 on these documents. You get what you believe to be a good comparable handwriting to Raki's and a signature on there. While he's doing this, it's going to take him a little bit to forge this document. What are the other three of you doing inside this area to keep him distracted or entertained while this is going on?
I'm
Entertained.
finding the most volatile chemicals in
Okay.
what I assume to be giant glass jars that I can hold up and threaten them with.
So you're
And
wandering
Offer
around
him a
looking
nice
at-
good berry in this trying time.
You're offering him a good berry, and he looks at him like, "No, thank you. I don't take food from strangers."
Teffy's
I
going to
shove
pull
a
out-
good berry down his throat.
Do you really?
Yes,
Yes. Give me a grapple
I
check.
shoved 3 good berries
Give
down
me
his
a grapple
throat.
check.
Do I have to do a grapple check for each good berry?
No, you just have to do a grapple check while you're trying to shove good berries down his throat. While he's doing that,
Okay.
Teffy, what are you doing?
well, can I give him disadvantage by like
To-
trying to hold them back?
Sure, yes.
Is that even possible?
Absolutely
Can I counter
is.
that disadvantage?
No.
I see ill intent in your eyes,
Okay.
and Ethan, you're
Okay.
muted.
Okay,
will
I cast
also
Hunter's
hold
Mark.
back.
Oh
I will
my
also hold
gosh.
back.
Hunter's Mark on his throat.
What is going on?
No, Zara, I need to ask him questions.
You're gonna have to have some actual tactics to counter what I'm about to do.
Okay, I will then. You weren't ready for it, but I am. Okay.
What is happening?
You have something to counter Hunter's Mark?
No, but what I'm going to do is, I'm going to
No,
I'm going
Horde
to shoot
Breaker.
you with my I'm going to shoot you with my grappling hook and pull you 10 feet away.
Okay,
from-
first
Okay,
off.
Horde Breaker.
First off.
Good berry for you.
before
Good
anything
berry
else
for
happens,
you.
Teffy's coming over. You're walking over Caleb to grab this giant vial of what you believe to be a volatile liquid. If you drop it, it'll just ignite on the ground due to the energy being added into it. And it'll spread very quickly because it's a fairly large beaker. And you turn around to see Zora going, "Eat the good berry, eat the good berry!" And the professor going, "I don't want one, I don't take food from strangers!" And Teffy desperately trying to pull them apart.
Okay, I am going to calmly
What was your roll,
set
Zora?
the chemicals down and then proceed to.
I'm afraid that's a nat
shoot
20.
Zara in the leg. Good
You
lord!
put the
I'm afraid
chemicals
that's a
down
nat 20.
and lean over just in time to see the hand with good berries get shoved to the front of the professor's face and him go.
Zara, what are you
Well, at
doing? I
least
have a
we-
real question.
Roll me an
still
attack
shoot
roll.
Zara
Cole.
in the
Yeah,
thigh.
yeah, give me an attack roll.
Infighting in the party on episode 10. We've only
Does an
lasted
18
this
hit?
far.
What's your AC, Zora?
My AC?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, it's actually more than that. It's 21 to hit.
Oh, okay. And your AC, I think, Zora, is less than that.
15.
15. So Zora, I need you to make a strength saving throw.
Strength.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
And you take 3. Piercing.
3 points of piercing damage. And strength saving throw.
Can I use a racial trait?
What is it? What's your justification here?
Who's in the room right now?
Teffy, Caleb, and the professor and yourself.
I will change my shape to become a gnome, so he is
Okay.
not able to hit me.
So
Teffy-
No,
right
that's not how it
now,
works.
not quite how
You
that
already
works. Yeah, right
You
now
Can I
you're busy.
counter with a shape changer?
You can't. Mainly because right now what you're doing is shoving berries in the face of a professor. This is what he's doing on
Which
his technical turn.
succeeded.
On which did succeed, yes, but that would be the equivalency of your turn. We are now going to
Yes.
Caleb's turn, and you cannot do things like changing shape, which is not a reaction-based action. It's an actual action that you have to take on your turn. So in this case, we do like to go a little fritzy sometimes on the ruling of things, but this one I have to say is specifically on your turn. Can't be a
So
reaction.
I rolled a dirty 20 on strength. 17 plus 3.
17 plus 3.
Let me double check what it says here. Make a melee attack against the target. If the attack hits, the creature takes 1d6 piercing damage, and if the creature is large or smaller, you pull the creature up to 10 feet closer. There is no DC.
There's no save.
Flavoring. Remember, we're doing this on a different side of things. Did
It's-
you want it
it's
to be
the-
exact? Is this a thorn whip?
Yep.
Okay.
It's the auto pull. It's the auto pull. It's not a
Right, this
reel
one's
in.
got an auto pull. We don't need a save. Sorry, I made you do that for no reason. 10 feet closer. That's my bad. I'm
So
sorry.
10 feet away.
Oh,
from the
what we
professor.
can do is instead that strength, that roll. When he pulls, when you get pulled, it is you hear the mechanism in your gun go as it's really reeling it in because Zara is holding on to the professor as he's getting dragged along with him. You're holding on to him. Your grapple's still maintained. That's what your roll would be for.
Has
Still
he
shoving
eaten
the
good
berries. He's eaten like 5, yo. You've shoved a lot in his face.
Okay, I was only trying to feed him
Yeah.
3.
Oh, well,
Right.
then he's eaten all 3. And he's just
Okay.
screaming underneath the palm of your hand now.
Well, I feel like this trying time has come to an end.
Trying time indeed. I'll have the investigators after you for this. That was assault. What you just did. I did not want any of those, but you have shoved them in my... This! Get out of my classroom, now! All of you, out!
You
I don't
know, they
care if
call
you have a
them
letter or not. I
good
don't care what your
berries.
reasoning is. Get out!
I am going to not release the mechanism on the arrow point that pulls it down. I am going to proceed to rip it out of Zara's leg and walk out of the classroom.
Holy shit.
I'm gonna linger and make sure that Zara does actually leave to apologize profusely to the.
Hair a little frazzled on the professor now. He's like, I don't care what kind of guild you're from, that was just rude. Unacceptable.
I fully agree with you. I frankly have no idea what came over her. I am so sorry, and we will get this sorted out.
As
Again,
long
I'm
as I
so
don't see
sorry.
your faces again, just get out of my classroom.
Yep, and then she leaves. And closes the door quietly, yet firmly. And then, also, for funsies, smacks Zara up the backside of her head.
I have a DC 15, AC 15 on that. Are we gonna roll?
I'm
to
not trying
attack?
to do damage, I'm just trying to smack you.
Very
All
friendly
right,
little
well-
smack of the back of the head. Schnozzboop, you're looking up from your paperwork now being finished to them leaving the room after hearing some screaming and very angry voices from the inside of that. Big Tin, you would have heard it too. Before we get to your responses though, we're going to take a quick break. I don't
I'm
know
already
what just
halfway
happened,
down the
people.
hallway. I'm
I
already
don't know
halfway
what
down
just
the hallway
happened.
trying to find the records office.
I really don't know what's going on, but I love it. It's cool. There's chaos. It's all over the place. Let's see what happens when we come back. We will see you all in 15 records department. That's another good place to go check. Be right back.
Hello there. As a guest of the Owlbear Inn, you obviously have taste. Now, as a person of taste, have you ever thought to yourself, I need to watch an artist who also has taste, with a sense of classiness and intelligence, heightened by sitting in a leather armchair before a fireplace with shelves of books behind? Neither have I. Anyways, I happen to have an art channel called Michael How Arts here on Twitch if you want to check it out. There's drawing, chatting, and sometimes gaming. If you enjoy fantastic characters and comics, or just having someone to hang out with while doing art, you should give Michael How Arts a look-see. That's twitch.tv/Michael How Arts. And if you visit, maybe, just maybe, you'll occasionally have that artist sitting in front of a fireplace to give you a +1 for the richness and culture of your Twitch experience. Though I wouldn't count on that. But please, do stop on by. Thanks for your time, and have a wonderful day.
I'm Michael Howe, and I approve this message. Oh, you don't believe me? Well, I did this, and 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 this.
Hello, everybody.
Fine
All
store.
campaign, all I wanted was to pass wisdom saving throws, and I never do.
Even with advantage?
I have advantage. I have plus. All my feats almost have all been going into that direction. No.
Oh, that's awesome.
Consent is always important.
Agreed.
You're next.
You're
Why
totally
am I
not dead.
so bad at this game? Jeez.
Might be genetics.
Attack first. Think never. Hey, folks.
You feel a definite pulse of magical energy as you shake his hand.
You just made a deal with the devil.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Roll a will save.
There's more up there? We have to... I fucking hate this level.
We could have been playing Valheim.
Dog, dog, dog. Save me, save me. Where are you? Get in front of me. Get in front of me. Get in front of me.
I'm coming. I was marking the cave.
Dogs. I'm gonna send them. Ah! Get the dog. Help.
Hello, folks.
There. Apparently, I can't remember your name at all.
Who's Ingrid?
You.
You.
Me?
Irving.
Oh.
Yes, because I can't forget. Wow. Why am I having such a hard freaking time with names today?
You called me Murphy twice before
Yeah.
we even started.
Shut up, Melvin. I'm working here.
Alrighty, naked.
That's a good drawing, right?
Damn right, Zach, that's
Really
good.
good. Oh my gosh.
Love it.
Thank you.
Wow.
With someone.
Wait, you just said they had a book.
That being said, we will.
Yes.
And then you emphasize that there is a book.
Holy! Way to catch on to that like a minute and a half late.
There's books, there's diaries, there's maps.
Wait, there's a book? We have not been consistent with this at all, have we?
No.
I'm not even going to try and pronounce most of those. Wow.
Yeah, they had a sale on apostrophes that day.
Hello, everybody.
I don't know what's really going on. Hi!
We have you on speakerphone.
I was just gonna say, this is one hell of a collect call, man. I didn't know he knew Infallible Relay.
Does anyone know what the rates are? I don't have that much gold.
Did you know back in the old days, in the medieval times, they used to put lanterns, hang lanterns out on front of horses to help them navigate during nighttime?
Oh.
It was the first recorded instance of satellite navigation.
I enjoyed the live action The Avatar movie.
Oh, baby Baba Luba. And burble as it came.
No!
Can I get a oh yeah?
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah.
If you're only to be addressed as you as your own person, what do I do if there's like a whole bunch of y'all?
You may use titles as, I would say, the trolls. You may use the consequences if
Okay.
you would like.
So
You
y'all
may-
is off the table.
Y'all is an abomination.
A whole bunch of y'all.
Too late.
That's when you guys look over and see what once was Jitters descend slowly onto the ground, trampling towards you as its head from top to about past the sternum splits like that into a toothy maw that is its whole body.
Rawr. Hello and welcome to Hate, Laugh, Love.
Everybody knows if it's
Nope.
green and it's slime,
You went that
it's booger time.
The show where we talk about movies.
He starts hopping on the way, and when you look back, there's Handor and Grace. Grace looking just frowning perpetually, and Handor just smiling ever so gracefully. And Finestone, you see on their lips, Handor say, "You think they'll make it?" And Grace go, "Not a chance." Hello, everyone. A little bit longer than 15 there. Sorry about that, but that's alright. We come back with everyone following the signs inside the university to the records department after a failed encounter with the professor, who was quite hostile towards them. He very proud man. You head on that direction with a seemingly very fine-looking falsified document in Schnozboop's hands. You all know you haven't gotten paperwork from Raki, but this piece of paper that Schnozboop's got clearly is signed by Raki.
Do we know it's a forgery?
You didn't have it beforehand. Anything you believe to know is up to you.
Snozboop's going to pass it to Caleb and say, I thought this might be helpful.
Yeah, it should be. After this, we all need to have a talk.
It seems that way. It seems that way. One step at a time, though, it seems.
We go find the place where all the names are. My brain completely forgot the word.
Records department.
Mm-hmm.
Or admissions in this case, actually. It'd be admissions. You end up inside a hallway where there are very clearly offices in many locations, and there's a person behind a counter who seems to be going through some paperwork. Stamps something, puts it in one bin, and grabs a letter from a different bin and opens it up and starts reading when you're walking up. And yes, can I help you? He's a halfling male, looks to be middle-aged.
Yeah, we need the records for all the students in Professor Kildred's chemistry class. Specifically, any that stand out academically.
Can I hand her the paper?
They put down, or he puts down his this letter he was reading, and you saying we need the records, and looks at him like, oh, you're not with the investigators hub. Unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to disclose any records to you unless we have a formal writing for us to do so.
Is that not enough?
Oh. Reads through it. He takes a little longer reading it. He gets a bit of a quizzical look on his face. He puts his finger to one particular section of it. And just before your mind starts to wander whether or not he's seen through the forgery, he looks up and, yeah, actually, this would do. Official business from the guild. Well, if you don't mind, so you said Professor Kildren's alchemy class?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, here's that back.
Was it chemistry or alchemy?
Chemistry, alchemy, technically. I mean, more appropriately, it is chemistry. But the aspect of chemistry versus alchemy, the separation of the two, has only really started to become a thing.
Alright, well, then that.
If you'll just wait here a moment, I'll be back with those. It'll take a moment. You need all of them, or do you just want the specifics of the ones who are doing better?
The ones that were doing better, specifically. Nope.
The ones that were doing well, specifically the ones in the class that was just going.
Okay, yeah, that narrows it down. He teaches well over 1,000 students. That's gonna be a lot easier. If you'll just wait one moment, I'll grab his top aces.
And also, you might be able to answer this question. Are there any students here that are off? Strange. Stranger than most.
You're you're talking about one of the biggest universities in the Balashtar. There's quite a few off. I guess it also depends on your definition.
Could be violent. May have had previous incidents.
We've got a few like that, yeah. Repeat offenders of the bullying instances, beating up people they think worthy of being beat up. That kind of nonsense. I don't find those off, though. I find those normal. We have people like that every cycle.
I don't mean bullies. I mean something more nefarious. Targeted. Planned. Anything like that.
Oh, you're gonna be... Oh. Planned. I spend most of my time in here. Well, there's always Chatley. Chatley seems... He only comes to mind because the person he prefers to take it out on is Professor Kildren's son.
What do you mean?
He's a big athlete, biggest one of the waves. It's the one that everyone praises. They all call out Chatley's name. But he seems to particularly have a disgust for Professor Kildren's son, and I think it's because he failed chemistry so many years ago. He's taken the class 3 times now and failed every time. So, instead of taking out on the professor, he takes out on the son. It's just my theory, though. I'm just a...
Is the son in classes?
The son? Yeah, well, actually, yeah, the son's actually in the class that just went out now. It's Jeeves.
I'm gonna let him...
Go search for the names.
He goes off to search for the names.
And what were the 2 names you just said? The bully and the kid?
Okay, so the bully is Chatley. I'm putting that in chat now.
Thank you, because I do need the spellings.
That's his name, Chatley Frickrun. And there is Jeeves Kildren. That's the son. And the father, the professor, is Aldrin Kildren.
All right. We wait for the names, and I'm going to turn to the group as soon as he leaves.
So what was that exactly? In the auditorium.
I turn to look at Zara.
You're muted.
You're muted.
My headset just got reconnected. What was your question?
What that all was about, pretty much.
Oh, okay. I'm a little overwhelmed at the moment.
Sir, I get everyone grieves differently. And I've chosen to give you the space to find your own way to grieve. Because that's how I grieve. But if you needed to talk to someone, you should have talked to us.
I gave you several opportunities to do so, and I received nothing in return.
I'm going to look at the rest of the group.
Well, Zara, I do apologize for not taking those opportunities. They were not as obvious as I had maybe would have hoped. But why don't you take this time now and tell us about your friend? if that would be helpful to you.
Tell you? Well, she was one of my few acquaintances, the only thing resembling a friend. We met quite some time ago, and as you may have put together, I am a changeling. I am quite often not accepted in anything that I truly represent myself in. But Gwen was the only one who accepted me as who I was. Her being half tabaxi, half human was also a challenge. Some would call them heinous. We were outcast together. And so it felt like together we could handle anything. My only regret is that I didn't trust her as fully as I could have. I don't know if I've trusted anyone. The rejection and the betrayal that I was given as a child was overwhelming. And Gwen was the closest thing I had to anything that I could call friend. I've been trying to regroup. But as you know, moving forward doesn't necessarily happen just because you're walking forward. I never knew anyone from where I came from. And now I feel like I'll never know anyone like Gwen again.
Zara, from some experience of loss, I can tell you, you probably won't know someone like her again. But if you give us a chance, if you trust us just a little bit, I think we could be something resembling a friend at least. Which I don't know if that hole for you will ever go away. I'm not sure that mine has, but I know being surrounded by friends helps some. Is there anything else you'd like to tell us about her?
She was the only one who never let me down. I've been let down by my parents, those who abandoned me from birth, and my adoptive parents never really gave me a chance to discover who I really am. So maybe this is where true discovery happens.
I do hope so. Not only for the group's sake, because I think it would be helpful, but for your sake as well, and for your personal growth. I do hope that being a part of whatever it is that we are here, that you will be able to grow, and that you will be able to, I don't know if move on is the correct word, but become more than you are. And honestly, sir, I don't know you well, but you could be more. I mean, you could be an impressive individual right now, and I wouldn't even know. But you could be even more than that, I think, if you would trust us even a little.
I think I let my fear of authority overwhelm my better decision making. That professor was, if you excuse my language, kind of a dick.
He did not seem intent on friendship. I would agree with you on that. But as you represent us and you represent the guild, lean into us, I think, a bit more in those circumstances. And perhaps there are other avenues to take care of it.
We'll let my disdain of authority take somewhat of a backseat for now. I know we have bigger things to work towards.
Yeah. And also, I do not expect swift change. But I think if you allow us in a bit, you would find help there. I do ask that you attempt to control yourself a little bit, as I mentioned, and if you have enemies, I am not one for violence, but I do think there are workarounds.
Well, I will try to remember that good berries are good.
Good berries are good. As long as they're eaten voluntarily.
If you don't end up focusing the pain into something greater, it's going to eat you alive. Trust me.
What are we working towards?
You have to figure that out.
I have to figure that out.
Yeah.
What we are working towards?
It's your grief.
But the we, I believe, is what he's pointing to, Caleb. What are we as a group working towards? Which is, I think, a pertinent question. Yes. I do think I think each of us are utilizing this group somewhat to our own individual ends, as I am attempting to spread peace to whoever I meet. But I also, as a part of this group, am attempting to help Caleb. Help those who may not be able to help themselves. And as I known Tevi, I am attempting to help her find the knowledge that she seeks. I do not know what Big Ten is working towards, or you, but as I learn those things, I want to help you in whatever way that I can, whilst trying to spread peace as my individual goal. And so perhaps as you find what your individual goal is, you can also look to assist the rest of ours as you are able. Does that answer your question?
Somewhat. But I don't know if this is a question that can be fully satisfied.
A very serious conversation for a records office, but I am happy to have it.
Where else to have a serious conversation where serious records are kept?
Perhaps true. Perhaps true.
In
A lot.
Meantime,
Oh, go for it.
I have to catch this killer alive.
The lad comes up with a smaller stack than what you'd probably would expect. First thing to know is Kildren's the roughest professor here. He's got a 60% failure rate in his classes. There's only 2 students who have A's, or grade marks, depending on what you might be looking for. The first one is his son, Jeeves Kildren. He's doing incredibly well. Of course, he does well in all of his courses. It's not specific towards this one. That question has been asked. And the other one is a student by the name Ida. Ida Killanen. Weird last name. From the Gratina Senate, from what I've heard.
Well, Pedro's gonna need a spell. Don't know even where to start.
Aida Killadan. She does remarkably well in most classes. None of them really stick out too much. Out of the 2, Jeeves is the one who would stick out the most. He's usually in the infirmary at least once a day due to things that happen. Once a solar, excuse me. He didn't say day, he said solar. Your dog barking through the voice thing is really cool, actually. It's a fun sound.
Thank you for all the help. We'll be out of your guys' hair. Hopefully sooner rather than later.
Did the record keeper hand back the letter from what's his face?
Yeah, he would have. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
We continue on. I am gonna. Actually, I'll leave it up to discussion.
So first, 3 leads. 2, I think, are better than the other. But what do you think? We have Chadley, Jeeves, and this new student, and Tina, Ida.
Well, perhaps we just go with whichever one is closer.
None of them particularly jump out at me. So I think we should start looking into all 3 of them at a cursory glance.
Wait.
So yeah, whatever's closer.
I may have misunderstood. Are there 2 students named Jeeves?
No, 1.
Jeeves.
Chetley, Jeeves,
Oh,
and
Chetley. Okay, great. Got it.
The Chetley's the one. This is Bayer talk. Chetley's the one that I don't have a very strong feeling towards at all.
No.
But whoever is closest, I think. Take us there, DM.
Did BT come with us to the records office? Or is BT still in like that spare classroom? Sorry, I lost track of him.
Did anyone get him out of the classroom?
We can say someone did.
Okay, then Teffy looked for him and was just kind of stuck her head indoors looking for BT and brought him with. Okay, cool. So we've got BT.
Yay. Finding students, finding people, whichever's closest. I don't have a designation for that. Who wants to roll a d6?
I'll roll a d6.
Roll a d6, roll a d6, na 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 na.
Like a g6?
Yeah, but you know the Seth Green version.
Seth Green version?
That's an actual song.
Roll a d6.
They did a parody on it. I'll find a link and send it to you one of these days.
Cat stole almost all my money. There's a d6. Oh boy, we rolled a 6.
A 6? Alright. Looking around, asking fellow students who are in the area, the one you come across is you get one student saying, yeah, no, I saw Ida actually over in the study area, over in the eastern side. Upon getting over there, it's more like a library. Still big enough space for Big Tin to enter in through and travel along fairly easily. We're getting inside this place and location. It's very quiet. Very few people are speaking. Mostly it's just the shifting and turning of a page in a book, or the unrolling of a scroll and crinkling of paper. But eventually you do find Ida, this long black curled hair, darker in skin complexion. Very obviously, from what you can tell, Caleb from the Grantina Senate, wearing these student robes. There's a bit more of a tassel about hers, though. And from what you can tell, it's a clear indicator to the difference of tier groups of your studies. If you're failing, you don't have these tassels. If you're doing really well and top of your class in many, you have these tassels. Status is acknowledged in accordance to your grades. That kind of university. But she sits with a pile of books and scrolls around her, reading through some very feverishly. There we go, that's the word I'm looking for. Doesn't even notice your approach.
Before we walk up, I'm going to kind of like hold out my hands to just kind of weigh enough, just kind of hold everyone where we are and just take a look first. See if there's anything in particular I can observe about her, mainly what sorts of books she's got stacked up all around her.
Okay, give me a...
Snospoop notices what Teffy's trying to do and also wants to look to see the whole picture.
Perfect,
I will
okay.
also investigate and then mute.
Okay, so I can get an investigation check from all of you, or one of you can forego the roll and give one other person advantage.
Someone could give me advantage. I have
Yes,
also
Snospoop is
investigation.
totally fine giving Caleb advantage. That seems like a good plan.
BT, I missed what you said. What did you say?
I said I could forgo.
Forgo and give someone? Okay. I would be Teffy. I haven't heard Zora's doing any, so... Caleb and Teffy.
Roll.
Give up the roll.
Okay, an advantage?
I will lower the DC for that. Yeah, so Teffy and Caleb roll at advantage, and for Zora giving up the roll, I'll lower the DC a bit.
Okay, and this is an investigation check?
Yep.
21 from me.
Ooh, gee. Ooh, that's a good roll. Caleb?
27.
27?
Wow, okay. Just gotta do what I do, but better?
Always.
Alright, Schnoz, BT, and Zora, I forgot your name for a moment there. I'm going to mute you for a second while I give them a whisper. We'll be right back. Alright, you two? You three? Okay. Server deafin. That's the wrong person. Server deafin. Server deafin. Alright. The two of you do see a series of books. I mean, a lot of these are mismatched between different alchemical stuff, arcane stuff, general studies, and what they might be studying on things. But a few of them are specific. There's one that is pertaining towards symbolism behind stature and postures. Another one is procedures outside of your standard alchemical procedures, or your standard taxidermy procedures. That one you get, Caleb. Taffy, you don't get that one. Your 27 spots that one. It's the one she's reading right now, and the only reason you're spotting it is because you're able to generalize the information on there. What you also will get is the confusion in her face, a look of she doesn't understand something. And she's feverishly going through this document, looking through, scanning a lot, flipping pages, closes the book while stuff is going on. I'm going to unmute everyone now. Hey, welcome back. Hello, how you doing? What's up? You're back. Oh, Schnoz Boop. Sorry,
Yeah.
Schnoz. I clicked it and it didn't happen. You're back. Hi, everyone.
I do have a question.
Mhm.
Did we get like official records or just the names of these students?
You got official records, which you could have meandered through for basics during your time of traveling here.
What are all of these students? What are their fields, focuses, majors, if you will?
Fields of study.
Whatever.
Okay. Chatley's going career entertainment. So he's a career sportsman. Ida is going into arcane arts. Particularly the mixture between the material and the arcane side of things. So Magitech. Or not Magitech, that's not what we're calling it in this universe. Arctech. She's
So she
mastering
has
an
no-
Arctech.
Okay, she has no reason to be as into what she's reading.
No. The other one, Jeeves, so Kildren Jr., he is mastering biochemistry and biomechanical works.
Yeah, Taffy's gonna square her shoulders and like look at the group and nod, and then start walking forwards with determination.
I will let Taffy take the lead. I am
Sounds
also
good.
okay.
He's also got a mouthful.
This is
of-
what I'm gonna do. Yeah, of Doritos.
Mouthful of-
Okay, she's from Grantina. I, as they start to walk forward, am going to walk semicircle all the way around to behind her instead.
Mm. There's a twitch in the ear, and she looks up and sees you all. Then turns around and sees you behind her, triggering that effect and knowing and seeing now that she's from more of a populated town in Grantina. Because someone's behind her, she's triggered. Being a little careful about that whole thing. She looks back and... Yes, can I help you?
Perhaps we have some questions for you. Taffy is going to. Is this like a table with chairs on the other side where I can sit down and steeple my fingers?
It is, yeah, and you sit down, steeple your fingers, and you get this prompt from the other side of the table. Shh!
Did you say staple your fingers?
Steeple.
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 Oh,
Steeple.
steeple.
Yeah, you know, steeple.
Like the steeple.
Like
the steeple of a church.
like I'm trying to get to something.
I was like, are we just casually rolling through that right now?
She looks over the person who shushed and goes, "Oh, mind your own business. Very briefly, we have to be quiet, though. We are in a library."
I'm well aware of our setting, thank you. What I have questions about is, well, it's actually many things. But at this particular moment, I have questions about your choice in... Care to explain what you've got going on here? Gesturing at the stack, which, fingers crossed, we are now all close enough to read.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's most of it's kind of mundane stuff, like there's architectural books inside there, but the ones that she has primarily in front of her all are in accordance to alchemy of bodies and procedures that you would do with taxidermying stuff. Yes, you could, absolutely. Professor Kildren is absolutely murdering us inside our exams and studies. I have to go into this a whole lot more and study more. He asks for the obscure things, like the exact dates and times and moments when things were discovered. We don't need to know when they were discovered. We just need to know that they are discovered.
That's not what I'm talking about, and you know it. Teffy will pull out the book about the symbolism of body posture and start leafing through the pages, seeing if anything leaps out that even closely resembles poses that have been mentioned on the victim.
All right. You, Taffy, give me an investigation check while you're looking through this book. Whoever
Another
is... Yeah, give me another one. Whoever's looking at Ida during this time can give me an insight check.
I can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's going to be a dirty 20.
A dirty 20.
Same, actually. Dirty 20.
What do we get from Big Tin?
No.
Is that a natural one?
Big Tin's not doing anything.
Oh, ready
Distracted
for it? We have
by-
a sound for that.
We do?
Where is it?
Do we? Is that
Yes.
Oh! I like the,
I'm still looking at the person who just us.
You're shushed. They're still staring at you with these wide eyes of, there's a steel predator in the library. I don't know what to do. I'm scared. I'm a little frightened.
Shh.
They gulp loudly and then go, making a little too much noise after being shushed.
What do we know about this insight?
The insight. There's a flicker of nervousness. Of panic. Oh my gosh. I applaud you for the timing on that one. God, that was... I'm going to try to move back as quickly as possible. There's a flicker of nervousness and anxiety inside. Her posture, as it slumps a little bit but then springs back to itself, it's very flickery, very, very minute. A jiffy, you might even say. A jiffy is an actual time frame of unit. It's very, very small and very, very quick. But both being a dirty 20, it's high enough to both tell that it's not necessarily nefarious. The studies here, she's got other books to study, to learn about. This looks like a pile of books she's studying to learn, not studying for mean ways, maybe? I don't know, you'd have to roll higher than a 20 to get specificities behind it. The investigation, unless you have something, Shinozabu, real quick. That isn't.
I was just going to continue with the conversation. So
Okay, hold on to that thought. Hold on to it then. The investigation for you, Teffy, there are a few. In fact, they're even bookmarked. There's little pieces of paper inside this book to poses. A sleeping pose, where if you're inside the specific sleeping pose, you will dream whatever you want. Dancing positions. There are some dancing positions that are said to have more intimacy and connection between the two once the dance is over. Only if you assume these positions, though. Joyous laughter. If someone holds on to this position of joyous laughter, it will hold on to yourself and the party people around you as well, and they will feel the same amount of joy. There's even a helping hand, a yelling anger, reasons behind all these, crying into hands. These body positions that are very specific. It even goes into the angles they're in. And there's this handwriting along the side of the book. And from the notes that you're gathering from her notes, it's not the same handwriting. It is just a book.
Does this book have that thing like in American schools where you like write the name of who checked it out when?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, who had it before her?
Great. While you're doing that, I'm going to consider you flipping through a little extra time inside the conversation before you get to that point. Shnosbu?
Yes. What I believe my friend is getting at is you seem to be studying exactly what the murders in the city, their means and ways. trolls. So that would lead us to believe that you are either involved or somehow attempting to get involved.
No. I'm not in any at all. I'm not looking to get involved. Please, no.
Let me just show you this form, giving us authorization from the guild. And speak carefully about what you're about to say.
Lucky. You are so lucky. This person's got like a plus so much to their checks for these things, but rolled a natural 1, so automatic failure. Yes. You are lucky. Good, sir. Yeah. Wow. That served you well. It's in my trader jar now. She looks at it, reads it over. I swear to you, I am only doing this through curiosity. I've heard the rumors of what is going on and the people that have been getting reported in the positions they're in, and I thought there might be a trend to certain things. And this is by the point, Tevik, where you're flipping to the front and you pull out that sleeve and you see several names. Wetmore, Uton, Torgus, Jeeves, Ida, and Ida's the last one. You're muted, Ethan.
I'm gonna kind of get on the same eye level as Ida, and I'm going to say in Gertinen.
Oh, maybe not. Maybe it's not gonna work. Hold on,
No,
guys.
it's working. It's working.
Oh,
We got your voice now. Yeah.
Listen, I know it wasn't you. I think it's Jeeves. So, you can still help us a little bit. What can you tell us about him?
Give me a persuasion check, and I'm going to consider this with advantage because of what Schnorzboop said earlier. We've been kind of leading up to a persuasion check here. It's all just a matter of who delivered it. Is that a natty 20?
Yes.
Yeah?
That was a
sweet,
nat
okay.
20.
Natties
with persuasion.
It's an automatic success, though.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
Yeah. Visible beads of sweat start to appear around her temple. Alright, well, I guess I do believe Jeeves might be involved. He's been quieter than usual. He's normally quiet, of course, but more of a reserved person. He's got a very hard father. This is easily understandable, given his upbringing. Chetty's been going a little harder on him than usual. He's been seeking him out as opposed to just running into him. Those kind of ordeals. I've seen what that kind of thing will do to people inside Cantina. He's majoring inside the biochemistry and bioalchemical procedures. So I figured... I figured he might know. So
Do you think the professor could also be involved?
To be honest, between the two of them, I think it would be more the professor over him. The professor is an angry, angry man, and he already knows all of these. We know it. We were tested on these things just last week. Or just last line.
Or Jeeves is just trying to impress his father.
I don't go into the psychology of people. I just deal with arcane technology creations. Bless you. Psychology is a different field. So I wouldn't bother pretending that I might know. I would more just try to understand who does, who might. And Jeeves, look at this as well. She takes another couple of alchemical books as well. Like, there's a card in the front. Jeeves was the one who did these before me as well. His name is on all of these books. I planned on...
would like to inspect the writing to see if they are similar.
Okay, yeah, give me an investigation check. While you do, she's gonna continue for a moment with a... It's nothing to go off of here, but I was hoping to be able to pull something together, maybe to settle in my mind that it's not him. I eat lunch with him. I consider him one of my friends. If it weren't for him, I would not be passing his father's class. He's gentle and kind.
Thank you for helping us.
Please, if you can, prove that it wasn't him for me, at least. I need to know.
I can't promise you that. Whatever it shakes out to be, someone is going to prison.
Listen, I sincerely hope it is the professor and not him.
How much of this is in Grantinen?
None of it. So, like,
the beginning of it.
Like, the beginning of it was definitely Grantinen, which is what helped kind of the convincing side of it. Because now she knows he's Grantinen as well. And there is a peculiar trust between Grantinens, despite the fact that they are very untrusting people.
Okay.
Roll a 14.
14?
It's like
They're all the
finding
same.
an expat in another country.
Yeah, it is like finding an expat in another country. I know how
What'd
that
you say?
feels. They're the same. The E, the V, they're formed the exact same way. There's no difference between any of the signatures or writing on this.
Teffy is going to kind of remove her hands from the steeple and just kind of lay them flat on the table surface now, as like a "hey, I believe you" kind of vibe, but still seriously. And she's going to say, mention any of inquiries to him, will you? That could impact the outcome of our efforts.
You're not the first person to be inquiring about him today, or this Solar. There was an inspector earlier on. Yes, a bushy, bearded man came around.
Richardson.
Yes, that was his name, Inspector Richardson. He said he had questions for myself and for where the professor was.
The inspector had questions about the professor specifically, or about Jeeves?
I'm not sure. He wouldn't let me know. I asked, but he said it was not my information to know, not my business.
No, he's like that, from what I hear. Are non-students permitted to take books from this library? Not.
If you have a written notice, like what you have for investigation, yes. They must be returned within a line. If not, you will be charged premium pricing, which is expensive.
That's fair. Teffy is going to nod, like, yes, this is completed now. She's going to stand up and, like, one hand still on the table, she's going to turn and ask the group, do you think we should bring Jeeves's books with us? Just gather up the evidence and make sure they can't be destroyed.
Why are these signatures written the same way?
She ruffles inside a rucksack. Rucksack? Backpack. Huh. Inside just next to her, and pulls out a little stamp of some kind on it. We all have it. There's a signature, a stamp for us. It's got our name on it. That way we guarantee the fact that there's no forgery behind it. If there's a single difference between the name, it is a forge.
Interesting.
And what if someone to get a hold of someone else's stamp? That doesn't sound very secure at all, does it?
It is on us at all times. If someone loses it, then it is changed.
And if it's not reported stolen?
It's beyond the people who don't report it stolen, but as they don't report it stolen, I wouldn't know.
So basically this interaction didn't rule out anyone, except for Ada.
If that is how you would like to think of it.
Oh, no, this is Tangerine talking, not Terry.
Yeah, sorry. If you'd like to think of it, I mean, it opens up and it keeps the availability of it open, but I wouldn't say it puts pressure on it at all. That is dependent on your character.
With my 27 investigation beginning, I did not catch a vibe, did I?
From her? No. Not from either. This is entirely the investigation, which for Caleb and the backstory of things is also close to the insight. There is... it's a lot of curiosity drive, but you've dealt with serial killers and problems like this before in the past, and a lot of them are driven by a curiosity drive. You're unable right now as to determine whether or not her curiosity drive is the same as a killer's would be. But with the 27, I have to give you, it's really unlikely. You really genuinely get the sense that this person would be sickened by a dead body in front of them and not impressed by it.
Thanks for your help, Ida. We need to go talk to Jeeves.
He is usually inside his dorm room at this point. He said something about having an errand to run, though. He might not be there, but usually around this this portion, this piece of Estrago. Doesn't usually wander off that much. At least inside this section. At most he'll go 2 or 3 out of it. He won't go to the other side, though. It's too far travel, according to him.
So, what do we think, gang? Should we bring the books with us or no when we go question Jeeves?
Bring the most important ones.
Okay. Teffy is going to like apologize to Ada, but also say this is more important. And is going to take the book on the significance of the posture and posing. The book on the different types of taxidermying. I'm not really sure if... What was one of the other ones? Something to do with...
There's
like
a lot of biochemical
magic
books as well. So, to note, actually, seeing as you said the word magical, none of these books are solely based off of magical. A lot of them are biochemical. And for you, Teffy, that is more of a sense of, these are books you're used to seeing. What you deal with is biochemical stuff. You don't really deal with magical detailing of things. Give me an insight check, actually, Teffy.
That is
Or a
fantastic.
nature. Or a nature. I'll give you that opportunity too.
Insight or nature? Let's see.
Insight or nature.
I'm gonna go with nature, because that one's a +4 and my insight is +1.
Ooh, that's a lot better.
Okay, so that's 18
18?
on the nature.
Being a gene warrior, several of these, if studied greatly, you could utilize. Like, they would help you with your concoction creations in the future. You could use a lot of the teachings and a lot of the chemicals in there to make your concoctions more efficient.
Okay.
You could also use them, though, to make it more unstable, to add different elements.
So I'm going to grab the posing book, what was the other one I said? Oh god. Taxidermy book, the thickest and the thinnest biochemistry books.
Okay, cool. Add those to your inventory. Also put a special note on those saying if you don't get them back within 7 solars, you're going to be paying like 20 gold each.
Oh yeah, and what date is it?
Oh, it is, I kept special track, 5/6/566. We're back to spending a solar per many sessions.
Thank you.
Which is appropriate given the side quest you're on right now. So where to next? You get those books, easy enough.
Jeeves. Jeeves.
Jeeves.
Jeeves.
Who would like to give me, or actually no, we can make this a group check here. Everyone give me investigation checks. Investigation or perception, either one of those two. I'll let you choose.
That's another 18.
Alright.
19 for me.
We're gonna go 22 investigation.
Schnoz at a 22. Altian at a 19.
My perception would be higher, but I assume I assume going to investigation would give me a different set of information.
Yeah. I always change my set of informations based off of what you roll.
Okay.
So
Then yeah, we're gonna go 22 investigation.
Good thought there. Just to remind me, Caleb, what was your? It was a 19. Perception or investigation?
Investigation.
Investigation, cool. And
Not
yours?
to be a huge pain in the ass, I do have a calendar question.
Okay, cool. Real quick, what was your roll? Was an 18 on what kind?
Investigation.
Investigation. Right. BT, what was yours?
18 perception.
Sweet. Zara?
Well, I rolled an 11 on investigation.
11
and just for shits and gigs, I rolled a 21 on perception. I'm not going to accept that.
Okay. Well, you told me the investigation one first, so that's the one I'm taking.
Yeah. That's what we're taking.
That's what we're taking. Question, Teffy.
Yeah, so at the end of number 8, it was 562, 566 when we arrived in Estrago.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the same
5/7.
day?
5/7.
Okay.
It's technically the next day. You're right. Thank you. Thank you for catching that.
There we go. Okay, so then the 1 week from now thing would be 173, 566?
Yeah, that would be it.
Cool, thanks.
173. You are on technically the last solar. Well, technically it is. It's the last solar of this lunar. 572, 566. Right. Investigation perception wise, it's a good chunk of the day. You walk around asking for if anyone's seen Jeeves. You get a couple of people saying, oh yeah, I saw him in the cafeteria. You go to the cafeteria and Jeeves isn't there. You go from place to place and eventually realize that Ida told you correctly that is usually where they are, but that's not where they are today. They're somewhere else. So you expand your search a little bit. Your investigation's getting enough information to know that he was running. The last recent one was he was running away from Chetley. Who was chasing after him, saying, "I'm gonna give you a beating, Jeeves." And they headed across a wooden bridge to a different section.
I'm gonna follow. I start to pick up my pace.
You follow and pick up your pace. Who got the 22? Schnorrs. And you all find yourself walking across when finally, Schnorrs, you start hearing this voice coming from somewhere. Traveling either through walls or from an alleyway nearby. You're getting closer to the end of the day at this point in night. The roads have slowed down just a minute amount of time. Just enough for you to be able to hear someone going, "I told you to leave me alone. I told you to stop. And now look where you are, Chatley. See where you landed yourself. You're nothing but a pathetic scum."
Well, Snozboop is going to pick up his pace additionally, in case he wasn't already going at full speed, and find this here voice.
Very quickly, when you say alleyway, is there a way above and down onto the situation? Nope.
This city is super, super rough with that. Most of it is built into the cliff face, so there's no above and down. It's levels upon levels.
Okay. I'm going sneak.
Sneak? Cool, give me a stealth check.
Okay. Come on. I believe that is a 22.
22. Cool. 22 stealth. You're picking up your pace. You can easily enough find where the voice is coming from, but is there anything particular anyone else is doing upon approaching this voice that the rest of you eventually do pick up and start hearing?
Okay. I know what I'm gonna do. Okay.
Yeah, but
Believing that when I turn this corner,
you just did your stealth. I want to get during the stealth time frame what everyone else is doing first. Keep that in mind though. What you're doing.
In case you weren't counting me, I was running to do that. I would like to go ahead and do you believe in friendship to myself again.
Inspire yourself. Perfect. That's what you do. Taffy, anything? Anything particular?
Runs and stays a good
breaking up.
Broke up a bit there, yeah.
Runs and stays a good 10-15 feet behind Caleb.
Okay. Staying a little bit behind Caleb. Zara, Big Ten.
Yeah.
Running.
Just running along. Running
I'm
with.
gonna prep what's an action? Dash.
Okay, prepping a dash action. Running along with everyone else and holding a dash action. Now we'll use your reaction should it come to it. Should you use it, that is. Alright. Caleb. Rounding the corner.
Before I go around the corner, I am going to reach into my pack quickly and pull out a very good sized handful of ball bearings, which I have on my purpose. And as I round that corner, I am slinging them across the ground to where they skid out like marbles, you know what I mean? So that if he's invisible, I see where the ball bearings bounce off his feet.
Okay. Okay. That being your action, it will reveal that you're there.
Okay. That's all right.
So he doesn't see.
I was just trying to sneak to get as close to him as possible.
Close to possible. Perfect. If that's the case, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask for a stealth check from everyone else as well. We're going to get a party stealth check here.
They
Party
are behind
sneakies. Yep.
Quite a distance.
That's
yes,
guys.
But
Don't-
foot
don't
20 on
steps
the
travel.
woo.
Ooh, woo.
Tangerine has a non-game but actual player question.
Okay, what's up? What's up?
On D&D Beyond,
Mm-hmm.
when in my list of stats and whatever, if it has a little D in red and it says disadvantage and then my modifier, does that mean I have to roll it at disadvantage?
Yeah, it does. It's probably in place because of your armor. Let me go to.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah,
It do be jingling.
Yeah. So that will be at disadvantage, and this is why I do a group stealth check for everyone.
Well, I rolled a dirty 20.
Okay.
I got 9.
Got a 9.
And that's why I'm staying 10-15 feet behind Keller.
Behind Keller. Alright. Zora got good. What Big Tin get?
16.
16. Oh, wait, hang on. Okay.
I turn off my running lights.
that saddle light navigation.
Yeah.
Turning that off. Swinging the ball bearings onto the ground, Caleb, you look up, and the rest of you even look up as well, and you can already see that despite your best efforts, he did hear all of you coming. And he's on the other side now, grabbing the mouth of this brutish-looking dwarf. This half-elf-looking male with this greasy black hair coming back and pencil-thin mustache and beard about his face, looking sweaty all over his face and looking up with a furious glare. What do you all want? He deserves it. He's very visible.
Jeeves.
And on the other side, your ball bearings scattering across the ground in front of these two.
Jeeves, I'd like to help you.
They all say that. Everyone says that. They always want to help me. Why?
I may want to help you in a different way than you might expect. I am a messenger of peace. And I would tell you that violence will only harm you. And if you just give us a chance, I think I may be able to help you. Not only with the situation you are currently in, but the situation you are in broadly speaking.
Oh boy.
Violence hurts people. That's why I use it. It hurts me all the time. This scum in front of me. And Chatley gives out a squirming. This
17 insight.
Pike at the back of his neck. You can see gets driven a little bit forward into it. Like, pain is everything. 17 insight?
It's
If he recognizes me. If there was any flash of recognition upon turning the corner.
There is, his eyes definitely catch you, and his eyes definitely look at you, and there's a bit of a squint behind them, but then everyone else comes around the corner quickly enough as well, and he looks up and meets all of their eyes with the same kind of squint. A 17 on insight. Maybe. He might have. There is a hint of recognition behind it. But you can't tell whether or not that was between the classroom or seeing him previously in a different time. Schnorsbeep, what would you say?
What was I going to say? The thing is, Jeeves, whereas this individual may treat you quite poorly, but what I understand from the records office is his future is very limited, whereas yours seems like there could be no limit to what you could achieve if you just turn from what you're doing.
You're right. There is no limit. I could achieve anything I wanted. I could achieve it all. I could go where I want. I just need to take the initiative to do it.
I'd like to cast
ready in action.
Sanctuary.
I'm gonna ready in action.
Okay. Sanctuary on who?
On the bully kid.
Chatley? Okay.
Chatley.
There is a moment of hesitation. The spell Sanctuary, I do believe, has several signifiers to it going off.
Yeah, it's verbal, VS and M. Yeah.
Okay, so all of them. It's got all of them behind it.
Got all of them.
Strumming of the lute, little song singing behind it. He stops. You would protect even the most violent of people here, and you wouldn't allow those of us who were abused by them any sense of justice.
I am just
No
giving
better
you an
than
opportunity to continue this discussion.
The discussion was already over. He already made his point. He's not gonna stop, and neither will I. He's gonna try to drive it through.
Can I shoot him?
Sure, that was your
With
action.
my
Ready?
grappling gun?
Give me a
Yep.
fire. Yeah, give me an attack. Attack roll.
Ooh.
So if he tries to attack me, he has to make a wisdom saving throw.
Yes, and he failed that wisdom saving throw. This is at disadvantage. He is using Chetley as a
disadvantage
shield, human shield.
That's true.
So I believe
I'm not terrible.
he must choose a new target or lose the attack or spell.
Or lose the attack, yeah.
19.
19?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm getting him below the collarbone on the exposed shoulder. Like right there. You see that soft spot right there? That's where I'm going.
Yeah. He stands for a moment. You see the twitch in his hand to drive this pike through the back end of the throat of Chatley. But he stops. And he doesn't. And you see his eyes grow even more wild and mouth twist to more of a distraught, angry face as he goes, and then gets shot and hit by this grappling hook right in this soft spot of it.
Time's up.
Yanked forward, he holds on to Chatley as he moves. Roll damage. How much damage are you dealing?
I will, and also ball bearings on the ground in front of him.
Yeah. Ball bearings.
Okay, damage. What was the damage from this? Terrible. 4.
Okay, what was your damage?
4. Sorry, I didn't know.
4. There we go.
Low roll.
Takes that damage.
Wait. Okay. Oh no, it's already at. No, never mind. My roll was at disadvantage, so I don't get the other part of sneak attack where he's close to an enemy. Never mind.
Yep. Dragged forward a bit, pierced, seeing some blood come out of the wound that he has. Chatley gets pulled into these ball bearings, picking up his feet, trying to keep up with everything, but then slips and falls flat on his butt out of the grasp of Jeeves. But Jeeves succeeds at keeping his feet. He is 10 feet closer to you all. But what he's doing after this is to look at you all and go, "Fine!" and then sinks through the ground. Without Chatley. He is casting a spell to sink through the ground.
Does anyone have please, for the love of God?
At level 4?
It's possible.
Is that
Rare.
an attack roll, ability check, or a saving throw?
What he's doing?
Yeah.
No.
Perchance?
No, unfortunately not.
Is him leaving through the ground considered an attack of opportunity?
No, because it's not considered movement.
Damn.
What about
It's
about my
like that fine line of it's technically movement, but it's not considered movement.
what about the
Grappling hook?
The barb in him?
grappling? Yeah.
It clinks to the ground.
Ooh.
He sinks through the floor, and Chatley, who is still conscious, shoves himself quickly against the wall, crying profusely. Big guy, bigger than all of you.
If I may,
No.
quickly,
About the same
I'm not
size as
sure.
you, Big Ten.
I'm not sure how much time I have. Do I have time to cast a spell at any point between his sinking?
So, the spell magic is a little different. It's on current active magical effects. What you're looking for to counter what he's doing with his dimension door is counterspell. Which
Right.
Is the
I was going
reaction
to try to
immediate
put him
effect.
asleep again.
Oh. I don't think there would be enough time. If Zora, Tefi, or Big Tin were saying that, I would say maybe yes, because they've not been taking active rolls on this. But the two of you, Schnorzboop and Caleb, have been taking active rolls, so I have to say you've done enough, basically, for the time frame of these things happening.
Fair enough. Follow-up question. You said that
can't
he was
do
using
nothing.
Dimension Door. Can I see what's on the other side of that door? I'm not sure how Dimension Door works.
Ooh, tasty question. Yes. I'm going to say yes. Given the wording of it, I have looked this up and I actually did prepare for this question. So, yay. Thank you, past me. I've been praising you a lot lately. There's... Give me a perception check.
That's a 23.
23.
Ooh.
It is damp. It's carved. There's water flowing. And for the briefest moments, you almost feel like you smell something extremely foul. Like refuse. Like someone ripped a really long one in a closed-off room, and you are sat there in the middle of the room to smell whatever they just ripped.
Ew.
Indeed, yeah,
Jump
it's gross.
through with them.
You can't, unfortunately, no. You try to, and you get to the spot, and it closes right beforehand. I had to double check on that one with the spell, too.
Okay, so as soon as I see that, I shouted out loud. It was a damp carved area with water flowing, smell of foul refuse, potentially a sewer of some kind.
Are there perhaps any mines in this city? To build into these cliff faces, there must be a real purpose behind it. So is this a mining facility, or at some point was it?
I think I have an idea.
That's not anything that any of us would actually know. I mean,
The only person, other than his father, who knows him here is Ada. We talk to her, see if she knows anything. And idea, but I don't think any of you are going to like it.
What's the idea?
We use Ada's name.
Okay. If
Ada's
push comes
what?
to shove, I'm not objecting.
Oh. I do think, along with the bait thought, I do believe Chetley, as far as for survival, should stick with us for the time being.
He is still crying on the ground in fetal position.
Chetley, good buddy, if you would like to live, you need to stop crying, and you need to follow us.
If you would like to live.
Okay, hang on. Let me give this a roll. Yo, good job, Chatley. It's my first natty 20 of the night. Oh, second actually. I've had 4 natty 1s and 2 natty 20s. He stops, and you hear this. Okay. Calm, serenity.
Great job, Chetley. Great job. Now let's go.
Thank you. Okay, I'll go with you. He's huge. He's very tall, being half orcish, maybe of some kind, but he holds down his hand and insists on holding your small little hand between his 2 fingers. He is still scared and terrified. You hear a couple of from him from time to time. But while you're traveling, you do get from him a it did smell like the sewers. It smelled awful. There was also a sewer entrance right below us.
That is very good information to have, Chetley. Thank you so much for that. Caleb, did you hear
You're
that?
welcome. You're muted. We can't hear you. Yeah. Okay. Carrying on. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to assume Caleb heard that, and we're going to head to the sewer. Chetley, we should maybe get Ida first. Let's get Ida first.
Alright.
Yeah, we're getting Ida first. Get Ida first, and then we're going to follow Chetley to the sewer, I guess.
Okay. You head on over to the cafeteria location where Ida would be at this point of day. It's supper time now. Getting closer to the end of the solar. Getting through with Charlie still sobbing. Big old streams of wetness coming down his face. Goes over to the table. Ida! And Ida looks up, still reading books and studying even while shoving food in her face. Chetley, what's happened to you? She stands up and swings around, sees the rest of you. What was going on? What's happened, Cece?
Very quickly, Ida, you need to stop speaking, please. Jeeves is the perpetrator. He had just attempted to kill Chetley, but we intervened. He is now, we believe, in the sewers trying to escape. Would you please accompany us to assist us in his safe capture?
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Let's go.
Give me a persuasion check.
Okay, that's a 25.
A 25? Good grief. She stops, looks at you with a... It's kind of a mixture between angry and confused look. And then looks over at Charlie and like, Charlie, you sit down. Please sit down. Like, you've gone through enough today, okay? You take the rest. I'll guide them through things. Right? I know things well enough. You just relax. Charlie's okay. So, and like
Stay
I said,
by people, Chet.
Stop bullying him. I think I got the point now, yeah. I will
And
guide
that
you
doesn't
to
mean to start bullying someone else. Just Together
Listen
now.
to her. She is right. Doesn't mean that at all. Bullying's bad. Yeah, okay, I get it now. Bullying's bad. I will take you to the nearest sewer access. It's not far from here.
Thank you. Lead on.
While she leads, in Grantinen, I'm going to.
So there are two ways to go about this. Either you try and talk him down, get him to turn himself in with us, or I'm going to have to use you as bait.
Bait? You want to use me as bait? Jeeves is one of my best friends. He would never do something like this to me.
Exactly. He wouldn't. Which is the point. If he thinks I would, then he might make a mistake.
Look, if it means getting him into the light of things and getting him out of whatever situation he is in right now, then I'm willing to do it. Just as long as we don't get him the worst punishment, we are in Balishtar here. This is all in Grantinen. They don't have the same leniencies as in Grantina. People who break the law here, they execute. They don't imprison.
Yeah. He killed 7 people that we know of. It was almost 8.
I don't know that. This could be him just acting out.
Sooner or later, he will have to come to terms with this.
I agree, but we don't know if he's the murderer yet.
Yeah. And maybe we'll find out who it is if it isn't him.
That is what I am hoping. She gets to a point in the ground where she leans down, circles, perfect circle, a spot, and then taps in the center, and it changes. These grooves along the sides show up, showing a plate over a subverted floor here. She picks it up, a little heavy, grunting with the weight behind it, moves to the side, and this steam comes from this opening now, this manhole. Well, who would like to be first?
Size?
It is. You could fit through squeezing.
I'm gonna go first.
It's a big enough opening where you could fit through squeezing, Big Tin. It would be a little difficult. Getting out would be difficult. Like, to give you a scenario, if you're getting out by running, it would take you roughly 3 rounds to get out. That kind of squeeze.
Okay.
How far down is the drop?
10 feet.
Okay.
10 feet of ladder down to the bottom. Caleb going first. People
Tuffy
following
second.
after. Tuffy second. Perfect.
He wants so bad to get on my lap.
Let the potato have some fun. Oh my god.
There's not enough room. And he is a very heavy dog. And so
Sounds like coward talk to me.
But he's
On the
so
couch, it's fine.
adorable.
on the couch, it's fine. Not on this chair that could break.
Oh, he's so cute. Heading on down, you find yourselves in a dark corridor. If anyone, does anyone have a torch? Because right now only the dark vision people can see.
I have a torch.
I have a torch.
I have a torch. Who would like to
No.
light a torch?
I would like to light it.
And I have an axe.
I will hold some fire in my hand. The power of the sun in the palm of my hand.
Power of the sun in the
Um,
palm of your hand.
What kind of structure are we working with here?
You are working with 15 by 15 foot tunnels with a small little walkway on either side, 5 feet ish. Big Tin basically has to try to straddle the two in a wide berth of paw prints here on either side to be able to walk between this ever flowing flow of sewage and refuse.
Okay, so Snozboop will try to pick up his pace to get in front of the torchlight.
We all have torches, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Right, they're using torches. I don't want to be in the torchlight, and I'm going to stealth as soon as I get up there and keep going ahead.
Okay, so you're going in the front of the party.
As I do have dark vision.
I am going in the back, and also stealth.
Club's going in the back.
Not
so
by Big
the
Tin.
line ahead of me.
Where's Big Tin going? Sorry.
You don't want to get behind Big Tin.
Oh, in front of Big Tin, I guess.
In front of Big Tin, with Schnorzboop being in the front outside of the light, which is going to be
Sound like
50 feet in front of Teffy, because that's how much light it's going to go across. Torch generally does 20 feet of big stuff with
I'm
20
staying
feet
about
of low
middle
stuff.
ways. Also got a torch.
Also got a torch. Just say a few things. Middle ways, I
Minus
think
those.
you all have... Yeah, do subtract a torch if you have lit a torch from your inventories.
Would you like me to roll stealth at this time?
Yes, at this point, I would very much like Schnorzboop to roll stealth and Caleb to roll stealth. Caleb, you are kind of in the middle. It's going to be a little hard for you to avoid light.
That's all right, because I've got Skulker, so as long as I am lightly obscured, it does not
You do.
matter. That is a
can kinda-
25 stealth.
25
I'm
stealth,
going to be
perfect.
using not just a pretty face here.
Oh, okay, yeah. You had that success earlier on, so advantage.
Didn't need it. I rolled 2 19s. 25.
Oh,
Oh, both of us 25.
both of you at 25. Magnificent. Wandering through. Schnorzboop, you are in the front. I would like you to give me a perception check.
It's a 12.
A 12. Okay. In the front, walking along without any light. First off,
With dark vision.
with dark vision, yeah, you've got dark vision, so you can see things. But 12 still. I would very much like everyone to give me a survival check. I'm going to do a group party check here to see how your direction in the sewer goes.
Oh, I guess
My
Ida's
dice
with
mat.
us as well. I assume by
Ida
the
is.
torches.
Yeah. Ida
My
is...
dice mat has the brand logo in it, and it cocks my die.
Ooh.
So
Ah, brand logo. Come on now.
sorry to interrupt.
There you go. Ida is with you all. I'm going to roll for her too. Oh, that was trash.
Rolled a 23. Did you say rolled a 4?
22.
13.
2, 13. Yeah,
And a
Ida rolled a
22.
4.
Both of you look like 4.
6. Big Tin?
5.
5. Ooh, yikes. Caleb?
16.
16. Very good, very good, very good. Schnorzboop.
Sit survival, right?
Yeah, I did, yeah. Heading directions, getting little advice from Ida from time to time, saying, given what you are telling me from where the incident happened, that is the way to go when you reach any diversions. heading back kind of similar to the direction of where the incident between Shetley and Jeeves happened. And then diverging there, moving a different pattern, direction away. You almost feel like after about an hour or two of just walking around, like you're gonna have absolutely no comeuppance with this. Until, Schnorsboop, you feel this slight pressure around your ankle, followed by "Tsk-king." I need a dexterity saving throw from you.
Okay, and I don't suppose this is a magical sort of situation.
It's not, it's a trap.
Man! Not rolling well. That is a 7.
A 7? Ooh, yeah, that's a fail. The rest of you will see what happens here as I roll all 3s. Wow.
Is that good?
I rolled 4d6 and I just rolled all 3s on all 4 of them. The chances of that happening are very slim. But you take 12 points of fire damage as you trigger this trap, and this expenditure of a jet flame shoots out from the front just before a curve, hitting only you because you've got the rest of your party being 50 feet behind you. Saving them some damage, yeah. You get lit up, surrounded by this fire, completely singed out of surprise. The rest of you do see this. But I also need from... There's one more thing I need from you. It is a Constitution saving throw.
Me?
Yeah, you.
11.
An 11. Okay. Right as the flame dissipates and disappears, the rest of you can see Schnorsboop standing there in one place, not moving. Presumably recovering from this sudden jet of flame surrounding around and burning, bless you. But Schnorsboop, you're locked in place. You can't move. Caleb, with your passive perception, you see just briefly, and just barely, a shift of a loose stone right next to Schnorsboop, right before he vanishes and disappears. And that's where we're going to finish for the night.
You son of a bitch.
What?
I keep doing it to you.
You always do that.
I do.
Cliffhanger endings.
You're welcome. I love it.
Oof.
I love it, at least. I hope you all love it too, because
Yeah,
this
it's
is great time and great stuff to end with cliffhanger moments. Schnorsboop, yeah, you failed your save. You are petrified right now. Your flesh petrified. You cannot move, you cannot shift, you cannot say anything. You're stuck. And very quickly you feel the hand grasp of 2 hands around either side of you as you have this motion of rushing and then appearing in a certain spot. And I will describe where you're at next week. Not next week, 2 weeks from now, because next week we're off. We're relaxing. Schnorsboop won't be here. It's your anniversary. Congratulations. Good luck on that.
Hey,
what
congrats.
I accidentally...
Hell yeah.
Schnorsboop is probably going to be locked for that unless someone else wants to play the bard at the time. Actually, Teffy,
Nice.
I might give it to you. That is nice. Because Peter
Very
did
nice.
Relly, the bard, during your time away. I think it's only appropriate to give Tangerine Schnorsboop for RP, because next week will be a combat. So...
2 weeks.
Well, 2 weeks. Thank you. Thank you.
Next
2 weeks.
session.
Next session will be a combat. Next week we are off. Don't forget that. Next week Sunday. It is the 5th Sunday. We are relaxing on the 5th Sunday. We are taking some time to chill for a moment. Unfortunately, right after that is Schnorsboop's anniversary. Happy anniversary. Good job. We're so proud of you. love you and your wife very dearly. Enjoy yourself as much as you can. We'll take care of Schnozboop and I won't kill him. At least I won't
Oh
try to.
yeah,
I've
right.
got like
try
a
not
list
to.
of 6 other characters if you need to.
I know you do, so I'm not nervous about it. But go check out Epic or Monolithic Miniatures. We didn't get to talk about them today because we didn't do a combats, but go check them out. They can scale your minis to what you like. None of them are painted, so you can paint it yourself. It's very affordable and really great. There's a little add-in then for them during the break time stuff. For now, though, don't forget to check out our store. Give us a tip, the wonderful, glorious tip. Any money that comes our way, including through our subscriptions, go to YouTube, subscribe through there, become whatever you want to become on those things. Subscribe on Twitch. Every single penny goes back into a production and what we do and how we try to give you a better showing every single week and all that loveliness. That's only if you'd like to do, though. No pressure. Please do it. We need help. However, though, until Thursday, where we have Mystery of Bloodheim at 8 p.m., so that lovely time frame. For now, we love you all greatly. We'll be raiding someone after this. See you next Sunday. Or
Bye.
see you on the next Sunday we play. Bye.
May have closed for now. We hope you met a friend this go around. Tired and blurry you may be. We hope your minds are full from this revelry. Peace follow you out. May you return for more giggles and shouts.